Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our favorite show, Flash Fried. Let's just jump right into it. We got a lot of stories today. This is a cop. She has a complaint. She's at McDonald's.
Who cares?
Well, you're going to care. You might care in a second.
Who cares?
You might care in a second.
Oh.
If you know what I'm saying.
I don't. Sorry.
To the McDonald's at Love's on the Ford Avenue exit. And I waited in line to get my food. I had already done my mobile order.
Yeah, we should probably kill our cameras, by the way.
I don't pay for my stuff because I just always like to pay for it myself. But I'm on my way home from work. When I pull up to the window, they hand me my receipt. So I go to the second window to get my food. And I'm waiting. And I'm waiting.
And I'm waiting.
And I'm waiting.
And I'm waiting.
And so the girl comes to the window and asks me what my order was. I repeat my order and my coffee order. And they asked me to pull up because my food's not ready. It's an English muffin meal with a hash brown and coffee. And I mean, I hadn't eaten since probably I've been up for a very long time, but I haven't eaten in a while. So I was kind of hungry and I'm still waiting and I'm still waiting. And they asked me to pull up.
We got it.
So I pull up forward and a girl comes out.
I'm sorry, TJ. I have to play some music here.
Me and I have my window down. And that's all she hands me is the coffee.
That's all she got was the coffee. Oh my god. That's all she got was the coffee.
Food because right now I'm too nervous to take it. It doesn't matter how many hours I've been up. It doesn't matter what I've done for anyone. Right now I'm too nervous to take a meal from McDonald's because I can't see it being made. I don't know what's going on nowadays. But please, just give us a break. Please give us a break. I don't know how much more I can take.
Oh my fucking god.
I've never, ever had such anxiety about waiting for McDonald's drive-thru food. So just have a heart. And if you see an officer, just tell them thank you. Because I don't hear thank you enough anymore.
Oh, you don't hear thank you enough anymore, huh, bitch?
I don't hear thank you enough anymore.
Oh my god. Fuck this. This is
Paul, don't you have empathy? She waited in line a long time. She waited in line a long... Paul, have you ever been at drive-thru and you waited a long time to get your food and they just gave you a coffee and that was it?
And you know what I don't do when that happens?
What? What don't you do?
I don't turn on my fucking phone camera and broadcast out to the internet looking for fucking pity for everybody that's like me.
You know, and the idea too, I mean, like, to me, the most startling thing about this is when she's like, I don't trust it because I can't see it being made.
Then why are you there?
It's like, and this is obviously to do, and we're going to cover this story a little later with this this whole like Shake Shack thing.
Oh, yeah.
You guys remember that from a few days ago?
Yeah, the story, well, we'll get into it, yeah. But
we're going to get into it a little later, but, you know, it's pretty ridiculous story. This obviously is almost an addendum to that, where it's like these cops are literally so terrified of the public that they're scared that, like, the McDonald's employees are in there poisoning their fucking egg McMuffin. Just for a pig.
Yeah, these pigs will be roasted in hell tonight. Hey, you know what? I got an answer for them. Subway.
Yeah, go to Subway.
Go to fucking Subway, dude. They make the food in front of you. Like, if you're that paranoid, eat fresh. There's like, they make it in front of you. Yeah. Take your sandwich and go.
That's another place you could see them make it.
Five Guys.
Scrutinize.
Five Guys makes the food all right there. I mean, what are they going to do? Like, have the poison fucking burger? I guess they can have the poison burger ready.
I've got some more advice. Welcome to everybody else's nightmare, because when we see you, when we're out and about, most of us feel the same fucking trepidation. Not necessarily about poison.
Yeah. I like that, a society where the police fear the public is better than one where the public fear the police.
Please say thank you to the cops. I don't hear thank you enough anymore. Fuck you. How often do you hear that? Fuck you. I'll give you a fuck you.
They probably hear it a lot now.
Suck it the fuck up. You went through a McDonald's drive-through and you got bad service and you're having a fucking breakdown in front of the internet. Fuck you. Oh, you were up late? Me too.
You know what, Paul? I think you need to show more empathy. This woman just wanted an Egg McMuffin. That's all she wanted.
Get her out of here.
And she and she wanted to hear thank you, Paul. Here's your Egg McMuffin, and thank you for being a cop.
Okay. I love the thing at the beginning too, where she like brags about how she pays for her own shit, even though cops like eat free at a bunch of places. Maybe not so much anymore. Maybe that's going to change. But you know what's great?
I hope so.
My wife used to work at Chipotle, and she always used to make the cops pay full price, even though that wasn't even store policy. She's like, where's our discount? She's like, I'm not giving you one.
Good.
I was always so proud of that.
Fuck them.
I'll tell you what happened to me though. I saw this video earlier today, and I was like, yeah, man, fucking, I could go for an Egg McMuffin, or maybe not an Egg McMuffin, but like some kind of breakfast sandwich from McDonald's. So I went to the fucking McDonald's, and I'm like, yeah, hook me up with a sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit, please. And they're like, we don't do all day breakfast no more. I'm like, what? So
Wrecked.
McDonald's doesn't fucking do all day breakfast now, I guess, or at least the one around here don't.
Bullshit, dude. This is fucking communism.
I got fucking lunch.
This is fucking communism, TJ. Communism's gone too far. I'm looking this up right now. McDonald's discontinued all day breakfast.
I guess they did, or at least ours did. I don't know.
I mean, the tyranny of the McDonald's 11 a.m. cutoff for breakfast is back.
Yeah, I know. It's like, what the fuck? Well, I thought we were taking steps forward as a fucking society, and then this. So that's the real tragedy here, not this bitch not getting her Egg McMuffin.
Dude, I'm looking right here, TJ. I'm seeing all day breakfast. Oh, there's an asterisk.
I'm telling you what I heard.
Oh no, dude. There's the dreaded asterisk. Let's see. I'm trying to see.
It's probably just says like participating locations only or some bullshit.
Yeah, I'm trying to the fucking print is so small. I'm guessing it pretty much just means, oh, you know what? Yeah, here it is. McDonald's all-day breakfast menu varies by location. Fuck you, McDonald's. You lying motherfuckers. You're telling me if I want a goddamn delicious sausage biscuit or a sausage and biscuit with egg, I can't have it whenever the fuck I want it, or what's the fucking McDonald's one? I ain't loving this shit.
Yeah, what the fuck, McDonald's?
Damn, dude. When I saw this shit, I knew the world had changed. When Aunt Jemima had to go away, it's like, I mean, yeah, it's totally racist and everything, but like, I was like, damn, it survived so long.
I don't think Aunt Jemima is racist.
You don't?
I never looked at Aunt Jemima and saw like a slave mammy or something, you know?
Have you seen the original?
She was a nice old black lady that made syrup.
Yeah.
Have you seen the original advertising for it, Paul? It looks like Mammy, dude.
Hey, yeah, Aunt Jemima. Would you mind fixing up some of them there hot cakes for me and the boys?
Overseer's hands getting awfully tired for whipping all them slaves. He needs some pancakes.
What the fuck?
Oh my God, I've seen so many people freaking out about this. I normally don't fucking do this kind of shit where I like go and fucking mock randos on Twitter and shit. But I don't know. I feel like it almost has to be him taking the okay, I gotta show you what the fuck I'm talking about here. Let me just get this open. But yeah, I'll read the article in the meantime. The Aunt Jemima brand of syrup and pancakes will get a new name and image. Quaker Oats announced on Wednesday, saying the company recognized that Aunt Jemima's origins are based on a racial stereotype.
No shit. Really?
130-year-old
what clues you in?
A black woman named Aunt Jemima, who was originally dressed as a minstrel character. The picture has changed over time. In recent years, Quaker removed the mammy kerchief from the character to blunt growing criticism that the brand perpetuated a racist stereotype that dated to the days of slavery. But Quaker, a subsidiary of PepsiCo, said removing the image and name is part of an effort by the company to make progress towards racial equality. I don't know that it's going to do much in that regard, but
I mean,
yeah.
the brand is dead. I mean, like they're saying they're going to rebrand. It's like, but like, what is it going to become? Like, no one's going to recognize the brand. It's just going to become some new fucking product that's lost in the shuffle. So they might as well just discontinue it.
There was an Onion article like 3 days ago about this happening.
They should just rebrand it Uncle Crackers syrup and just put like a white dude on it.
Yeah, there you go.
Hell
No,
yeah.
I'm not if I trust it though, man. Like Uncle Cracker, I'm like, this can be some bland syrup or something, man. Like I don't trust Uncle Cracker syrup. Now, if it tastes good,
I'm going off. I'm going out right after this fucking show, and I'm buying all the Aunt Jemima that I can because you know when they remove the mammy from that fucking bottle and rename it.
This is a parody article from literally just a few days ago. Quaker Oats replaces historically racist Aunt Jemima mascot with black female lawyer who enjoys pancakes sometimes.
This is gonna suck.
Sheila.
Dude, when you take your first bite of non-Aunt Jemima fucking pancakes and syrup, you're gonna spew it out of your mouth. You're gonna go, what the fuck is this?
Gross.
you know
This
what,
is not
Paul?
like my Aunt Jemima used to make.
You know, Aunt Jemima syrup, can we just say this on top of everything else is not very good syrup.
It's not.
It's not even it's not
their
even
butter
real,
syrup. I like their
not even
butter
real
maple
syrup or anything, so
Look,
I like their butter maple syrup though. The
As a-
Aunt Jemima butter maple syrup is top tier.
I'll tell you what. It pains me to fucking say this, and it does pain me to say this, but it's part of my reason that we should invade Canada because I usually buy Vermont or Canadian maple syrup, but Canadian maple syrup is more common. But that's usually what I use.
You know
So
they're
wait.
spitting in that, don't you?
for all the shit
I realize that, but I mean, it still tastes
for all
good.
the shit you've talked about Canada, you're gonna use their fucking syrup.
Their syrup's pretty good. I mean, look, I gotta admit, I mean, like they're mostly a dog shit country. I mean, they are a third world country. I mean, actually, I put them in fourth world country. I mean, they're fourth world, dude. They're that bad, but their fucking syrup is good. I'm sorry, I can't lie.
Well, I guess Aunt Jemima has to go.
Yeah.
Yet another change.
When's
that we
Uncle
all
Ben?
have to-
When's Uncle Ben going, dude?
Suck it up.
When's
God
Uncle,
damn it.
when's
What about
Uncle
Uncle Ben?
Yeah, when's Uncle Ben going? It's just a matter of
Yeah,
days.
he's going to. He's going
He
to.
is?
Yeah.
Have you actually heard that? Uncle Ben's on his way out?
Yeah. I saw an article that said that he's going away as well.
Uncle
wait a minute.
Ben's going,
This
dude.
is the
Just a nice old black couple, one of them that loved rice and one of them that loved syrup, and now they're being erased from existence.
Yep, that's tragic. Listen,
Wow.
here's someone that I think perfectly captures the horror of the
Oh
moment.
God, Tim Pool, are you serious?
Now he's saying that this is a tweet. He's like, you know, he's already saying it's a joke and stuff, and it does kind of read like one. So maybe he's being hyperbolic here, but he is genuinely pissed about this in general. So whatever. You sat back and said nothing when they tore down that statue of Thomas Jefferson. You fanned me away when they announced school's name for Jefferson in Washington would be renamed. But now it's too late. You could have stopped this.
Oh, no. Aunt Jemima.
Uh,
All kayfabe aside, who fucking cares? Yeah, there shouldn't be an old black mammy on any kind of packaging here in America anymore. So it's, you know,
Yeah, I mean,
all funniness aside.
Get your Aunt Jemima butter light syrup.
I mean, look, Denny's, a company we're talking about, used to be, what was it, Little Black Sambos? You know, companies.
Little black Sambos.
Yeah, they did. They
That
Oh
was
my
the name.
God.
That was the original name of like the Denny's franchise or
Come
whatever the
on
fuck,
down,
whatever,
Little
however it
Black
existed, however it existed. I mean, and they became Denny's. I mean, you can easily get away from that stuff. You don't have to do it. You know, that might be the history of the company, but you can change it to something new. It's not impossible.
Yeah,
Removing the mammy.
their name back.
Removing the mammy hat from Aunt Jemima really did nothing to make her look less like a mammy. You know what I mean?
No.
No,
Yeah.
she's still the same old mammy. So yeah, I'm fine with this. Bye, Aunt Jemima.
Yeah.
Thank you for draping my pancakes with mediocre syrup through my childhood. I appreciate it.
But your time has run its course.
Is Mrs. Buttersworth is white though, right? So she's still
Mrs.
fake.
Buttersworth is whiter than shit, so she's fine.
staying. She's staying. Mrs. Butterworth's staying, dude. But like, TJ, they fucking have diluted that shit so much with high fructose
Mrs.
corn
Butter-
syrup that
look.
it's a joke.
All these like mainstream syrups are fucking nasty as shit. Get yourself some real goddamn maple syrup. I know it's more expensive, but it's just like 1,000 times better. So
So bougie. I like this shit.
Oh, it's so bougie to actually want real syrup like
It
a
is.
fucking human being.
It is. In a world where people are literally throwing bricks at the cops for their rights, you're sitting here going like, I simply can't abide store-bought syrup. I must order the real Vermont maple. Otherwise, my pancakes are inedible. It's like,
They are.
Yeah,
Just
I don't
I
want
have to
this
agree with
time.
TJ on this one. Okay, Paul, let's do a taste test. Let's do a taste test. If you prefer the store brand one, then fair enough.
I might prefer the more expensive syrup, but this shit right here, I'm not going to turn away a big old stack of hot cakes with this shit drizzled on.
I'll turn it down any day. No, I won't. That's a lie.
Yeah, see.
Yeah,
I'll
I actually
definitely-
will.
I'll definitely still eat it.
I'm the real bougie one here. Because TJ would be like, oh, fuck it. I'm like, no.
Because the truth of the matter is, I like low quality
Away
shit.
from me.
I like low quality shit. I like bottom of the barrel, high fructose corn syrup shit. I'm American. I was raised in the fucking 80s and 90s.
Yeah, well, fair enough.
Just shovel that shit at me.
All right, so here's a Breitbart trying to get people pissed. Probably about I don't know who actually. Anyway, racist Rice Krispies disgraced ex-Labor MP targets Kellogg's over white boys snap, crackle, and pop.
What's the problem?
In the ever-expanding cultural revolution spurred on by the Black Lives Matter movement, Kellogg's cereal boxes have now been added to the list of supposedly racist symbols by a disgraced leftist former politician in the UK. Fiona Onasania, a former Labour Party MP who became only the second person in history to be kicked out of Parliament by their own voters using a recall petition, has called on Kellogg's to justify why Rice Krispies is represented with 3 white boys, while the Cocoa Pops mascot is a monkey. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a pressing societal issue if there ever was one.
Hell yeah.
I mean, I don't know where should I stand on this one. This one's tough.
I think where you should stand on this one is that no one is actually calling this box racist except for some random
Right.
former MP, I guess, that the voters already kicked out of office for being a moron anyway.
Yeah, this is moronic. A lot of these things have like
It's
have
basically just
characters.
Breitbart trying to get people to go like, oh, they're trying to ruin my Rice Krispies.
Why don't they just make Crackle black?
Yeah.
Why not?
Shouldn't Crackle be the white one and they should change his name to Crackle?
Well, that's I was trying to avoid the stereotype by making Crackle a person of color.
Yeah, gotcha.
Snap could be a mestizo.
Yeah.
Crackle could be a person of color.
I mean, these characters were just invented to sell sugary cereal to kids anyways. It has nothing to really, I think, to do with racism in this case. Like,
I mean, they're fucking elves, right?
Yeah.
They're elves.
Right.
this is just shit.
All elves are white. Everyone knows that.
Well, I don't
I
know.
mean, I don't know that that's necessarily
I don't know
the
if that's
case.
true, TJ. That's some
That's
racist
true.
shit right there, dude.
I ain't seen that. How many black elves you seen?
That's because
How
people
many,
are racist.
how many elves, period, have you seen?
That's because they're just racist
One.
people. And they don't want to draw black elves.
What about the Keebler elves? You've seen a lot more than 3.
Yeah, they're all white.
Yeah, all white.
Oh shit! I don't know. Maybe those elves are racist. Maybe they're like neo-Nazi Keebler elves. Like
Go
they've
watch
never-
Lord of the
they've
Rings.
nev- They've never
There's a
revealed
fucking
that
shit
about them.
All white.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Is there even a black person in goddamn Lord of the Rings?
La,
la, la. Technical difficulties here. I don't know.
right.
I don't think so. Maybe.
Pritzker, whoever the fuck that is, signs vote by mail expansion,
That's the
declares
governor.
election day a state holiday.
That's the governor of Illinois.
Cool. Springfield, anyone who cast a ballot in the last 3 years or who registered to vote or changed addresses after the March primary will be sent an application to vote by mail in the November 3rd election. Governor J.B. Pritzker signed a bill expanding the program Tuesday. In a news release, Pritzker's office said the program is aimed at ensuring safe and active participation in the 2020 election during the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. The measure also expands early voting hours at permanent polling places and makes Election Day a state holiday. Local election authorities must mail or email the applications to to voters who cast a ballot in the 2018 general election and the 2019 consolidated election or the 2020 general primary election, as well as voters who registered or changed addresses after primary. Any eligible voter who submits an application by October 1st will receive their ballot by October 6th. Sending vote by mail applications to residents who have participated in recent. I'm so glad that Trump took this hard line fucking stance against vote by mail, thus ensuring that a shit ton of states were going to do it just to spite him.
Yeah. I mean, this is how all voting should be done now. Not even because of COVID.
Yeah.
Just
right. Just in general.
Despite the fact that Trump himself, drum roll please, voted by mail. But
of course he did.
But voting fraud. Oh, there's too much voting fraud. We can't allow people to vote because they'll.
The Democratic Party is real, or the Republican Party is real concerned with voting fraud. Yeah, they don't like voting fraud at all.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me a fucking break, dude.
Real bad.
Not disenfranchising large swaths of the population. No. The
voting
fraud that will occur assuredly if people vote by mail or by some electronic or other means. Because, you know, if we have people vote, then the right people won't win. So clearly just a case of disenfranchising a large number of voters.
When the wrong people vote, the wrong people win.
Now you understand, TJ. Now you've become enlightened. Yeah, I mean, look, any step to let more people vote, especially people that normally wouldn't be able to vote or wouldn't, tons of people who are, immunocompromised, they're dealing with a severe illness or they're around someone who has severe illness. This is exactly what they need. They exactly need the fact that they can go and vote remotely, not have to go to a fucking polling site.
What about just us fat lazies? Every time that I voted in my life, this is how I voted.
Never going to a polling place?
No, not once.
Really?
Yep. I voted by absentee mail-in ballot every time I voted in California.
I wouldn't care. I mean, if there wasn't a pandemic, I wouldn't give a shit about going to the polls. I mean, but with that going on, this should just be mandatory. This should just be like everyone can. I mean, like,
yeah, Scotty, you currently live in a state where you cannot get. I mean, I guess you can get mail-in ballots, but you can't get them for COVID. Like, that's not a valid excuse in Louisiana to get a mail-in ballot.
Get out there and get sick, boy. What are you doing?
Really? So you have to have some other like a health reason or something, I guess. But I got like
I got a peg leg or something.
Yeah, I was telling I got a peg leg. Like, look,
tell them you got a peg leg. What are they gonna do? Check and see if you've got a peg leg?
Look, I'd come in there and vote totally, but I got a fucking peg leg. I can't make it. Come on, give me a fucking.
Fill it out like a pirate.
Yeah. Arr.
Arr. Me be having this peg leg, and it be hard for me to stand in line, matey.
Dude, I want to do this now.
The sea.
I'm gonna do that the next time I go to fucking Disneyland or something.
X marks the spot, TJ, but his first love be the sea.
The sea, I say. All right. NYPD releases body camera footage of officer unmasking and pepper spraying protester. Okay.
Sounds like what we're paying our fucking police to do.
Hey,
cameras off, gentlemen.
All right, 1 second.
Let's take a quick look at what's going on here. I'll try to get it full screen, but it's
you might have to do the fucking Twitter refresh. It happens every time with these videos.
Yeah, Dever likes to play this shit. Okay. I guess there's no audio. There's the guy we're supposed to be looking at. Not really sure what I'm looking at here.
Yeah, it's like that guy stepped in front of the other, like another cop steps in front of him, or is that the guy? Or is that the cop pepper spraying?
Yeah, I'm not sure. The video is not super clear. The NYPD released body camera footage Tuesday of an incident where a police officer pulled down a protester's face mask and pepper sprayed him in the face. This comes on the heels of Mayor de Blasio saying the city will begin releasing police body camera footage within 30 days of any serious incident. Previously only disclosed at the discretion of the commissioner, as our Gloria Pazmino reported. The city says footage should now be released faster in instances where there might be an alleged misconduct. I mean, that seems reasonable, right? I can't really tell what's going on in that video, but apparently that's what it shows. Maybe someone who's a little bit more visual acuity could fucking figure it out.
The video just wasn't clear. I mean, you have someone step into the frame, and then I guess the pepper spraying occurs at that point. I mean, I don't know. I didn't really see it myself, but that's what they said occurred.
I mean, in 1992, when the Rodney King beating was videotaped by a neighbor,
yeah,
the cops started this kind of campaign, which they've now officially lost, to not be filmed. There was a period of time in the 90s and in the early 2000s where if you had a camera out on a cop, they were going to come and knock it out of your fucking hand and shit. Like, they would not be filmed.
Weren't there a few states that tried to just outright like outlaw filming cops?
Yes.
Yeah, Illinois.
Oh, there were numerous like local and state laws that were struck down in the 90s and early 2000s as unconstitutional because people were these consumer devices that recorded cops were becoming more and more available. And then the cell phone happened, and now everybody's got one in their pockets. The cops have lost this shit. Like, they're not going to get away with this shit anymore. Like, they've got cameras on themselves. This happens to be body cam footage that was released. But anytime a cop is doing something in public, there's a good chance there's a fucking 3 or 4 angles worth of cell phone footage on that fucking cop now. And they know it. And that's a good reason why a lot of this is happening. You know how many George Floyds there have been in the history of the United States?
No footage of, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there's no...
Where
there's
nobody knows what happened. You know, they just got gaffled up by the cops and they died, and everybody, you know, oh, he was resisting.
Yep.
And that's it. So, yeah, that the day is over, and like, I don't know exactly what shape it's going to take, but police reform is desperately needed. And this shit that Trump recently did, this like platitude laden, we need to make sure cops are making the best decisions.
That shit was such a joke that I literally did not pull it for today.
No, you shouldn't have, because it's literally.
I forgot it happened. I went with Chelsea. I was like, Trump signed some executive order. You want to figure out what that's about? And we're like, okay. And we turned it on, and I was watching the coverage of it, and like literally like within the first 5 seconds, it was like, Trump today signed an executive order that recommends that police departments stop using chokeholds unless their lives are threatened. And
it's total bullshit.
TJ, we strongly
just turned it off. I'm like, fuck this.
TJ, I strongly recommend that they do not
Strong
use
recommendation, you guys. It's like
the chokehold.
Total
off.
horseshit.
Yeah, it's like, what? You strongly recommend? You're not going to ban it?
Off the fucking stage, you little bitch.
I don't know if Trump through executive order can ban chokeholds, but I mean, at the same time, why isn't any like sort of like federal legislation banning this? Like, why aren't we taking more steps on a federal level to address this? Where it would address the entire country all at once, like mandatory body cams, mandatory, like, you know, we just go through a list of the ways the police have fucked up and come up with actual systemic reforms for the police officers across this country in a broad fucking way. That's what makes the most sense, right? You know,
I think the police departments are going to have to be like, that's why I'm such a big proponent of this defund the police movement that seems to be gaining traction, because I think that like a lot of people are scared of that because they think like what people are saying is we don't want any police. No, what people are that are for defunding the police are saying is that we need to tear down the structure as it exists and rebuild a community police force that actually isn't a bunch of fucking sociopathic thugs and racists and people who like to exert power over other people, that actually serves a community.
Yeah.
That's that. And then there's really no way to do that from within. The good old boys network within the cops and the police unions and shit, it's too strong. You see how they protect their own. You see how they rally behind that fucking group of cops that knocked over that 70-something-year-old man and made him bleed out of his fucking ear.
Yeah,
you see how the good old boy network works. They all rally around these fucking pigs. It's got to stop.
Hey, pig. Yeah, you. I agree with Paul on that.
I mean, yeah, but I think a large swath of the population is probably not in agreement with that. So I think that the best thing is probably just to fucking. I think at this point, at the very least, they need a lot of reforms on a federal level, because I think going just state by state or local, municipality by municipality is just, that's too much of a patchwork. That's kind of like the problem we had with COVID-19. We did not have a strong federal response. And unfortunately, with the Trump administration, I don't think we're going to get that. I don't think we're going to have any sort of...
You're never going to have strong leadership under Trump because Trump.
Trump.
Because Trump is, he's a photo op guy. I mean, he's a theatrical president. Like he doesn't actually doesn't actually do anything. He just
no, I know he's worthless.
Takes a picture of himself holding the Bible or fucking says some tough talk.
By the way,
fucking rally. He doesn't actually. He's not good at legislate. I mean, I'm glad he's not, because a competent Trump would be a fucking real nightmare.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Like I'm glad he is incompetent, but the fact is he's not a leader. He's incompetent. He can't fucking actually do anything. He's not effective at governing.
I saw this meme showing like different police departments around the world and how long it takes to become a police officer and what kind of training and shit.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous.
I mean,
you need more training to become a hairdresser in this country than to become a cop.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. Like in Sweden and shit, it takes 2.5 years to become a cop. That's pretty standard for most places. At least a year worth of intensive fucking training. Here in America, it's like 2 months. Not even that in some cases, and you're on the street with a gun.
Dude,
it's like,
I don't know.
What?
Did you guys watch the John Oliver thing where he was showing the clip of the cops in that seminar where they're being taught like killology or whatever?
Kill.
There's like this guy that's like he trains police all over the country, and he's like just basically like this fear mongering shit where he like it puts it in their head like you need to be ready to kill at any time, and I'm an expert in the field of killology, and I'm gonna teach you how to kill and all this stuff. It's like what
is going on?
What's going on here?
Well,
Nope.
Paul, let me say something to you about this.
Shut the shit down.
And TJ, you can probably you could probably attest to this too. When we went to Europe, like there was tons of cops, and there was even fucking in like the case of France, like people with like they're like basically armed military, like, and you didn't even have the same level of fear of that. And like in Belgium, they had like submachine guns, and there was not really any sort of like, oh man, we're really afraid. And I'm not saying those guys have never fucked up and done bad shit. I don't really know. But there wasn't the same level of fear from the populace or anyone else. Like
the guys with the submachine guns and shit, though, was like
they were smoking cigarettes and it's like blah 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 blah.
Oh no, but not only that, but like those were like specific cops. Like they are guarding the Eiffel Tower. Their job is to like stop a terrorist if there's a terrorist or something. They're not out there just like there's like beat cops and shit too that are just more like not armed at all. That are just like there to like maintain the public peace. The machine gun cops are like, we're here guarding the fucking Eiffel Tower or something.
Oh, the Notre Dame Cathedral. That's where we saw them. We saw them at the Eiffel Tower in there. But like, it wasn't the same level of like
guarding fucking landmarks from terrorists and shit.
Yeah,
they're not out there fucking just like, with the public like with machine guns and shit.
Well, the cops we saw in Belgium, that was for the Pride festival they had going on there. And it was, but it wasn't like I'm just saying like the culture around it was not like the cops are gonna come do some fucked up shit. Like people in America, if they saw the cops like that, be like, "What's going on? What are they about to do to us?" Like it's not just assumed that the police are just gonna be there to do their actual job. It's assumed that the police are gonna do some fucked up shit. And it's sad because
their job in America is a little different.
Well, it depends. It really does depend. I mean, some cops do good work. As far as like the detectives that are working, on domestic violence or something like that. I mean, that's what fucking Taylor's mom does. She does, people that domestic violence cases, and she's probably not doing anything like this. She's not beating the shit out of anybody. But if the state calls on you to do that as a cop, in this country, you pretty much have to do that. Then you have to go, well, you know what? I'm normally doing stuff to help people, but now I have to basically crush their freedom. So it's like that's the fucking problem is like the people ordering them to do this shit don't give a fuck about that. And then these unions are just as complicit. And it's like, we just have this total complacency by a large swath of the public until they're not. And then there's a problem. Then the cops suddenly need to be on the street stopping that. It's like, why do they need to stop it? If this is what people want, and we're supposed to live in a democracy where people are supposed to have be able to voice their opinions and say, hey, we want change. The cops shouldn't be out there doing anything but fucking, as Paul and we've all said, facilitating this. And having body cameras, there's nothing wrong with that. If the
I remember I walked in.
Oh, go ahead.
I remember I walked into a Waffle House when I was like 16, 17 years old. And there was two dudes just sitting at the counter. and they were talking about cops. And one of them just said, let me tell you something. The cops in this country ain't nothing more than a government-sponsored gang. They're just like all the other gangs, except we got to pay for them with our tax dollars. And that never fucking, that redneck's random observation never left my head. And I've fucking have believed that ever since that day.
It's just very true.
It instantly clicked as true in that moment, and nothing has ever disabused me of that notion. I didn't get it from some lofty academic or anything. I literally got it from a Waffle House redneck. So,
yep.
Well, here's the thing. What from what you've heard of that since then, what action have as what you've seen the police do in the last 15, 20 years has disavowed you or just has made you want to change your mind?
There's not been a single everything I've ever seen has fed into it.
That's what I'm
I don't
saying.
know if it's
if you're weighing
confirmation
the scales
bias, maybe
of that,
it is.
yeah, if you're weighing the scales of that, you're basically going bad shit. Do. Maybe obviously like cop helps this kid, buys him a pair of shoes. Like, oh, that's nice, but that's an individual action by an individual cop. You know, that's different. And like, look, I'm not.
Like, you can hear that shit about a gang too. Like, I've heard good stories about gang bangers and shit.
Or the mafia.
I've heard there's been like Crip and Blood. Like, all right, the Crips and Bloods are gonna set our shit aside for a day and have a Crip Blood barbecue where we fucking. And they've done that. That's happened. Like,
yeah.
Does that change my opinion of the fucking Crips and the Bloods? No.
I shouldn't.
Murderous fucking thugs. And I think the police are a bunch of murderous fucking thugs. So I don't know. But you know, my tax dollars don't fund the Crips or the Bloods. Some of my drug dollars might somewhere down the line, but my fucking tax dollars don't. So, you know, I expect a little bit more accountability out of these fuckers.
I mean, as you should.
But I don't get it. Anyway, California utility PG&E pleads guilty to 84 wildfire deaths.
Can't wait for this slap on the wrist they're about to get.
A California utility has pleaded guilty to the deaths of 84 people in a wildfire, the deadliest U.S. corporate crime ever successfully prosecuted. Pacific Gas and Electric, PG&E, admitted the 2018 Camp Fire, the state's deadliest and most destructive, was caused by its faulty equipment. In the court hearing, a judge read the name of each victim aloud to the company chief executive.
Yeah.
The company will be fined millions of dollars, but no one will go to jail.
Yeah, exactly. If they read the name,
were elderly I'm sure that if I fucking started the fire, I would just get a fine, right?
Of course. Like this article, and I'm not denigrating the BBC, but fuck this article and fuck the fact that it doesn't read. And then he was taken into custody for fucking life in prison or something because he prioritized not maintaining the lines in California. And then a bunch of, as it goes on to say here, disabled and elderly people died because of it. And it's just okay because, oh, well, you know what? He needed to make more money. Oh, but they're going to be fine now. Exactly. A slap on the fucking wrist when at least 84 people died. How about all the deaths it contributed to because of the amount of fucking goddamn smoke and pollution that was caused by all the fucking shit that was being burned? Now, it's okay, though. What about the fucking livelihoods and fucking houses and everything else that people had that were destroyed because of the fucking negligence of this goddamn fucking company? And then the CEO,
in 2018, California was literally on fire.
Yeah,
and it was the air quality, especially in the Central Valley area, was just so fucking bad. Who knows how many people croaked because of this shit?
I'm sure.
Observation. I just want to throw this out there that I love the fact that corporations are people until it comes time for them to be culpable for something. Then they're not people anymore. Then they're
of course. Well, I mean, it's just an example once again of the two different justice systems that exist in this country. The one that the rest of us get and the one that the rich and powerful and the corporate get. This is beyond a slap on the wrist for PG&E. I remember when I shit on PG&E in a previous story because we covered this, I don't know, a couple months ago or something.
Yeah, you've actually shit on them a few times because you've actually had to personally deal with this company.
Right.
And
I remember I got a comment from somebody who was mad at that because their grandpa or their dad or something had worked for PG&E and he worked really hard and he spent a lot of time upgrading lines and shit. And I was like, look, my beef is not with the poor bastards that work with PG&E.
No.
Like they're doing the best they can. My beef is with PG&E itself, a giant fucking corporate entity that refuses to hire enough people to maintain its lines, and this is the end result. 84 people dead. Probably closer to a couple hundred people dead if you take into account secondary factors. Just this one fire. That's not accounting for the other fires that PG&E has caused all over California. So fuck this company. Fuck this lack of accountability. Fuck this, you can just open your wallet and pay for the deaths of 84 people shit. Like, this is why people are in the fucking streets. Maybe not this exact issue, but people are starting to wake up to the fact that, like, holy, we're being horse fucked here. Everywhere we turn, we're being horse piped. They're killing us in the streets. The cops are killing us. They're burning us to death in our homes.
You know, I was watching Paul you stream last night. You weren't live when I was watching you. You'd streamed a little earlier on your Ideology channel. I forget what the name of your stream was, but you were watching your old Paul Anoia video. And one of the things that the old 8 years ago Paul was saying was like, you know, the main thing you wanted to do was just wake people up to how fucked the system was in this country.
Yeah.
How fucking far the deck was stacked against ordinary Americans. And I feel like people have in the past, you know, since then, I mean, not everyone hasn't like had this profound awakening, but I feel like a lot more people are aware of just like how fucking rigged the system is at this point.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're in the process.
The table is
we're in the
tilted.
process of people starting to realize that I mean, look, politics is completely different now than it was 8 years ago.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, God.
So many people have checked out. So many people have caught on to the cyclical nature of these candidates and their fucking policies. And so many people have started to be angry about it. Same thing comes with the authorities. I talked about that back in 2008 in that video. You know, the authorities strip searching you wherever they want, being able to kick down your door and shoot your dog and nothing happens. You know, and at that time, I really felt like nobody cared. I felt like most people were just like, it's the way it is, you know, or made an excuse for it. And it seems like more and more people are starting to realize that we got a raw deal going here as normal human beings.
Well, of all the factors that you were probably talking about at the time, like income inequality, you know, the fact that people can't get health care and access to health care, all those things have been exacerbated. Like, even talking about like the Affordable Care Act, a lot of people still, it's like they have insurance now, but you can't afford the copay for your surgery. Oh, you can't afford the deductible. Oh, so sorry, you're just not going to get it. There's still this huge barrier to a lot of those things, and if anything that's happened, it's just gotten worse in those last 8 years. And, you know, I mean, you've discussed this privately many times, Paul. We're just like, until shit gets just so fucking bad that they can't get meat or they can't get any sort of fucking protein substance in their fucking belly and they can't fill up their fucking giant SUV and they can't have these basic creature comforts, most people are just going to be a fucking sleep. They're just going to go, you know, it sucks, you know, whatever. Yeah, I got to work hard. Yeah, I work 6 days a week for 12 hours, and I ain't got nothing to fucking show for it, but I got a good deal because I live in the fucking freedom land. It's like, you know, you're a fucking sap, dude. You know, you bought into the bullshit. You bought into the bullshit, you know, and...
Wait a minute. Is it Freedom Land?
I mean, that's the name of it. Whether or not there's any freedom.
That's the perception.
If our
is what I'm
country
saying.
actually did like represent freedom, I could forgive a lot of the other fucking social issues and shit if there was actually some kind of measure of freedom here that they don't have elsewhere.
If we had a measure of freedom here, a lot of the social issues you're talking about wouldn't fucking exist.
I mean, I agree with that, but I mean, I think that there are probably some social issues that freedom's not going to fix. But I would be willing to fucking take that on the chin if we actually had this great freedom that's been fucking talked about by, you know, to such fucking ad nauseum lengths by so many people.
I want to smoke this plant that makes me high. Whoa, that's your business, not mine.
Feel good. No, you stop that, you. Hit you with this stick.
If we lived in a free society, me and the cop at the same time could smoke the weed.
Okay.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but
no.
But if we live in a free society, like, I honestly, that's how I feel about it. I feel like me and that cop, the cop pulls me over and is like, I don't get pulled over because I have weed. It's because I'm not sharing with that cop. It's like, hey, man, this is kind of unfair. You got this fucking joint. You're blazing out your window. You know, you better share this with me. Like, all right, officer, I'm sorry. Here you go. Take a couple puffs. And then we all go about our fucking business. If that was freedom land that we lived in and that shit was going on, you're right. Maybe I'd be more defensive of the system. Like, well, it's not that bad. But we don't have that. We don't have shit like that. That's what we arrest the fucking hundreds of thousands of people in this country still for.
Scotland votes to end export of tear gas, rubber bullets, and riot gear to the United States. I had no idea that Scotland was making this shit, but
pretty much meaningless though.
The Scottish Parliament voted overwhelmingly in favor of canceling UK weapons exports to the United States. The ban, which will require the UK Parliament's approval, which who knows if they'll get to that, will include tear gas, rubber bullets, and riot shields. The UK government has sold billions of dollars worth of police enforcement gear to the United States since 2010.
And that's why they won't.
According to UK licensure rules, weaponry should not be sold to any government where there is a clear risk that items might be used for internal repression. What the fuck do you think this shit's for?
Yeah. Why did it take so long?
Because, like, there's no other use for that fucking gear, is there? Like, that's
like
what
tear gas is meant specifically for internal repression. Rubber bullets are meant specifically for internal repression. Riot gear, stormtrooper shields, and helmets are meant specifically to oppress the population.
Yeah, there's no other usage for that shit.
So, I mean, good on fucking Scotland for finally, I guess, coming around to the fact that the United States is out of its mind. But fuck you, Scotland, for continuing to arm our fucking police departments with this shit for who knows how many fucking decades and allowing it to get to this point.
So they voted 52-0 with 11 abstentions. Comes less than 3 weeks after George Floyd died at the hands of American police, spurring nationwide protests against racialized police violence. In many cases, police have met peaceful protesters with violent force. No shit. The Parliament stands in solidarity with the Black Lives Matter movement, the motion says, and considers that the UK government must immediately suspend all export licenses for tear gas, rubber bullets, and riot gear to the US. Patrick Harvey, co-leader of the Scottish Green Party, said American police were using weapons of oppression by a racist state, and it is unacceptable for us to be exporting them, putting these weapons in the hands of people who will brutalize marginalized communities. It's important we stand in solidarity with Black Lives Matter movement, Harvey, who introduced the motion, added. Since 2010, the UK has sold roughly $7.53 billion worth of munitions to the United States, including over $1 billion in firearms, $22 million in less than lethal rounds like tear gas and rubber bullets, and more than $2.5 million in riot shields. According to the UK's licensing criteria, the material should not be sold if there is a we got it.
I doubt that they're gonna stop selling it. It's $1 billion fucking business to them. I mean, like, maybe they will. Maybe fucking the media attention and the fact that the Scottish Parliament, maybe all that shit will just add up, and the Parliament in the UK will decide to stop exporting these weapons. But I just don't see it happening.
I mean, if they really want to send a message, start sanctioning the United States. Start you know what I mean? Like, I understand we've got this big bully fucking kind of position in the market, but stop fucking accepting United States imports of certain goods and shit. Like, punish the United States some other way for being a fucking repressive racist regime.
Except the United States is powerful, and all the organizations that would do that would never even be that's like cracking down on China's labor practices. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, sure. They're abhorrent, and they just fucking use people up. It was like the Foxconn when they were manufacturing those iPhones and stuff, where it's like, you just can't compete with the Chinese, like, literally, because the workers live in these dorms. They wake them up in the middle of the night, and it's like, oh, well, Apple's changed this thing with their product, so here's a cup of tea and a biscuit. Now get to work, slave. It's like, yeah, you can't compete with that, except people eventually just fling themselves off the building. It's like they just killed themselves because they'd rather just be dead. So
it's just hypocrisy. It's hypocrisy that this fucking law existed in the EU that banned the export of weapons to be used against the populace. It's just like, how do you say that out of one side of your mouth while you're loading up a truck with 200 drums of fucking eye-burning tear gas to ship to America so they can dump it all over some protesters? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. I mean, but at the same time, we know that, look, money makes the world go round. And if the U.S. has spent all these billions of dollars, The UK doesn't want to lose that money. They don't want the money to go elsewhere because they know that some other country will probably just fucking pick up the demand. Oh, India will make it now or wherever. It doesn't matter.
I mean, reason number 592 that capitalism must end. Time to end this stupid, fucking backwards, violent, nonsensical system. Because this is the end fucking result. Just this kind of, I don't know, codependent relationship between nations so that they can help each other repress their fucking societies.
SNL alum Jay Farrow says LAPD officers held him at gunpoint, kneeled on his neck. Tarzana, California, comedian Jay Farrow said he was racially profiled by LAPD officers and that one pressed a knee onto his neck. The former Saturday Night Live cast member who was black said he was recently jogging in Tarzana when he was confronted by 4 police officers. I see an officer to the left of me. I'm not thinking of anything of it because I'm a law-abiding citizen. I see them coming with guns blazing. I see them saying, well, they were probably weren't, the guns were probably not blazing. That doesn't mean they're just holding them. That means they're firing.
But their guns drawn.
Their guns are drawn. I get it. Get on the ground, put your hands up like you're an airplane. Farrow said in a video post on Instagram Friday. Farrow said he laid on the ground and was handcuffed. The officer took his knee, put it on my neck. It wasn't as long as George Floyd, but I know how that feels. I said, why are you doing this? Like, what's wrong? They said, you fit the description of a black man in this area with gray sweatpants on and a gray shirt, he said.
So
guilty like so many other people
What?
are of being black.
You look black.
Guilty of existing while black.
We're looking for a black man. You happen to be one.
We're just rounding up every black man we can find that vaguely fits the description of a black man.
He told the officers to Google his name, and after a minute, they let him go. They come back. They say, we're sorry. We just got a call in that it's not you. He said, yeah,
We just got a call in that it's not Jay Farrow, the
Yeah.
famous fucking SNL comedian. Turns out we were, what the fuck? Think of how many black men don't have the ability to say, Google my name and get out of shit like this. If Jay Farrow didn't have a little bit of fucking clout, a little bit of presence and a media voice, his ass probably would have been gaffled up, beaten up, thrown in jail for nothing, charged with resisting arrest.
Yeah.
Dude, I read a story one time, crazy fucking story, about a juror who basically, it was like almost like a real life 12 Angry Men, but I think the juror was actually a woman who single-handedly realized that the state's case against some black dude was totally false because she actually recognized that the shirt he was wearing was not the same shirt as the, because like he basically got gaffled up because it's like, there he is wearing the same shirt and everything. And she actually was the only one who looked close enough at the shirt to realize it's not the same shirt.
Right.
wow.
So it was fucking crazy. Like he was, he got off the, because of that. But man,
Yeah, I mean,
it's
this.
crazy. If it hadn't been for that one person who actually noticed the detail of like, hey, these shirts actually do not match. Like this one has this kind of stitching, this one has that kind of stitching because she was like a seamstress or something.
How was that detail not noticed by the people investigating the crime?
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
it could have
That's
been.
the point I'm trying to make with this shit. I mean, like it's just ridiculous that especially when it comes to black people, I guess it's just like you're black, you're wearing a similar enough outfit that we're just gonna gaffle you up. You did this. You fucking did it.
I mean, even if they stopped him, like, well, that's excessive. That's an excessive use of force. That's escalating the situation way more than needs to be like, oh, we want to talk to you. Are you this person? Nope, you're not. Have a nice day. Like that's the most that interaction should be. Why would they pull out their guns, force him to the ground?
He was wearing gray sweatpants, dude. Like, what more do you need?
Yeah, but he's not a threat
That's
to
enough.
them. He's not a threat to them.
That's enough, dude. No, he is.
So obviously,
He's black, he's wearing gray
obviously,
sweatpants.
these cops that show up, they perceive him as this like the ultimate threat. Like he's jogging. It's like. So, I mean,
You've
what
got to
do you say?
neutralize him before he has the chance to become a threat.
Oh, that's what it is. So now we have to preemptively.
Pre-crime.
Oh
It's
yeah,
pre-crime.
it's like
Murder.
Yeah, I guess so.
Last one for plebs. Georgia cop pointed a gun at a group of teens. Neighbors stepped in to protect them. Protect
Protect and serve.
I don't know. Maybe we kill a camera. Let's
All
see
right.
if this. I don't know if this. I haven't checked this video out. I don't know if this is the video that shows the incident or if this is gonna be one of those stupid news report things that doesn't actually show what it purports to. But I guess we'll check it out and see.
I think it matches up, so I think it is the.
It looks like it's gonna be the right thing.
You got a gun out. Why you got a gun out? For what? Why? Have some babies. You can see pockets. You can see pockets.
Video on post on Facebook shows a police officer pulling a gun on a group of black teens.
Police say they're responding to a 911 call.
Group of teens had a handgun and were fighting each other in the parking lot. Surveillance video released by the police reviewed the scene and does not show any fighting, but shows two teens tossing what looks like a gun. Officers drew his gun as he got out of his car due to allegations Joe's were in possession of a gun.
Don't move. Don't move. Just relax. Nobody's hurt. Please, I don't want to hurt one of y'all.
I don't want to have to hurt you.
They kids. They kids. They kids, sir. Why you got a gun? You can just check them. But why you have a gun?
You're not 1 against 5. See, this is the fucking
5 to 1, baby. 1 and 5.
this is the fucking toxic kind of idea that's behind police action that leads to people getting shot. These are people that are suspected of a possible crime. You are not against them. It's not 1v5. They're not rushing you, trying to beat you down, and the gun is the only thing keeping them from doing that. They're complying with you. They're citizens of this fucking country. And until you can assess whether or not they've fucking committed a crime, you're not against them. It ain't 1v5. Well, I guess it is, but one of them has a gun, and the rest of the 5 don't seem to.
I'm curious as to whether they had a gun or not, because it did say that they were seen with a gun, but
So they were seen tossing what looked like a gun.
right. So I'm curious to see if that's gonna pan out.
All right, turn around. Relax.
Did they find a gun? BB gun.
A BB gun.
Right. Okay.
Wonderful.
So yeah, approaching every situation with your gun drawn, like I need to fucking. It's like maybe you don't need to do that all the time. You know, maybe you pretty much never need to do that, especially when you're dealing with a bunch.
There was no need for this cop to show up at all. These kids having a fucking BB gun and hanging around in front of a store is nothing that needs a cop involvement at all.
That's true. Because like I had a BB gun as a kid. You know
Who didn't?
Yeah, I mean, like we had BB guns. No one fucking like the cops didn't come gaffle us up because we had a fucking BB gun.
Yeah. You play with BB guns outside. So I still am not even sure why a cop was involved in this. Oh, wait. Well, I guess I am, because it was a group of black kids.
Right. I know that I know that some racists out there might be like, well, the cop was black too. It's like, yeah, well, he's blue.
And
That's
number 2, we're assuming, by the way, that BB gun that was recovered from the bushes nearby was actually put there by the kids and not planted there by the fucking cops to justify their action.
We got to at least plant a BB gun here, you know?
Yeah, we'll just throw something over there to, justifies us fucking pulling out a gun on a bunch of teenagers in the middle of their neighborhood. Oh, look, one of them might have had a BB gun, maybe. Well, so this is all good. Go back to living your normal lives.
You see the video of that kid? He's just like out in his yard playing basketball, and then the cops roll by, and he just like hides for a second, like, "Oh shit, cops!"
I mean, do you blame him?
Like plays. I know I don't. It's just like that's the situation.
I mean, look, and they're saying like basically they have like an airsoft rifle or whatever, or a BB gun that resembles like a fucking semi-automatic rifle. But the thing is, it's like. Is someone like, are they pointing the gun at people? Are they threatening people with the gun? It's like, if they're just playing with the gun.
No, they had it. It was supposedly they had it in front of the convenience store and were like tossing it between each other.
Yeah. I mean,
my friends fucking shot me with the fucking BB gun when I was a kid, man. I mean, we shot each other.
In this country, I don't think it's a good idea to bring it somewhere. And I can see why someone could misconstrue that as like, oh, that's a fucking real weapon. It could be some dumbass thinking these guys have like a fucking AR-15 and they're tossing back and forth to each other. And we are a country that unfortunately has a history of mass shootings and shit like that. So I can understand being like a little weirded out. Like I think if like someone was walking around with a gun, I would kind of be freaked out. Like, why does this person have a gun? I mean, no, I probably have the sense to realize it wasn't.
We're in a country with open carry laws in a bunch of states where people literally like bring their guns in a Chipotle.
Aren't we in one now?
Yeah.
Statement,
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
We're in an yeah. I see guns and shit when I'm out and about here.
Yeah, just like, hey, I
I
got
really
my
don't see
gun.
many.
So I mean, like, I don't know.
I really don't see many, surprisingly. And I would notice something like that. But yeah, I don't really see too many people just carrying their guns. But a lot of businesses don't want guns, so they ban them. And, you know, people get mad, like, oh, they don't let me. But, like, a lot of businesses don't want guns in there.
I tell you what I don't see, though. Black people with guns around here.
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
I love the idea, though, too, that, like these guys, when they come across with these businesses that doesn't let them bring their gun in, it's like, this business is trying to revoke my right to defend myself. It's like, what? You're psychotic, dude. You're a fucking psycho.
Yeah, like, you need a gun 24/7. I mean, like, are you carrying, like, fucking jewels with you or something? Do you have some, like, really compelling reason why you need this gun?
Yeah, he's a Pinkerton, you know? What the fuck? Anyway, that's all for the plebs. Fuck off. It's
Get out of here,
Oh,
plebs.
wait a minute. Don't you have a song to play for them?
I don't have it. We're gonna, you know.
Oh, TJ, you fucked up, dude. It's on Twitter, man.
Whatever.
Damn, TJ.
Song played here. Insert song. There you go.
You're so fucking lazy, TJ.
Yeah,
God, you're
yeah.
lazy. You're fucking lazy, dude. You can't go, oh, bro, it's certain.
Lazy.
It's certain.
All right,
I'm
I'm gonna go ahead and pause this here because we've been having issues with you guys.
What?
You guys are coming in fucking wonky as shit. I'm gonna go reset. Yeah, you guys. I'm gonna go reset my internet because you guys are coming in real like.
Well, I've got my recording still going. I don't think there's been any issues.
All right,
on
you guys
mine.
go ahead and keep your guys' recordings going, especially if they're fine. But I'm just gonna go reset my fucking connection.
Okay. Oh, TJ.
Always fucking up. All right. See you guys in a second.
Where is TJ? Where is TJ?
Hope he hasn't gone back to smoking the cigarettes, but he does seem to be in a better mood. So
Yeah, that is a little telling. He's not as snippy or snappy today. Maybe he's just getting over it.
yeah, maybe that's the
That's-
reason.
Yeah. Or maybe he's smoking a cigarette.
Boy, that TJ, he's there right now smoking that cigarette. It is good.
I ordered some 24 milligram nicotine juice, so I'm about to
Oh shit,
Not-
dude.
not be smoking again too. It's time to hit the vape again.
Dude, I'll tell you what, man. That's like it's like the age-old battle. Like, hey,
Yep.
man. I mean, yeah, but shit, dude, you quit for a long ass time before you started.
Over 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, like your shit was kind of like fuck this freedom.
Yep.
You did like the William Wallace. You're like, nope, I can't hang with this anymore.
Wasn't even like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, she didn't like smoking, but I wasn't a smoker, so it wasn't a problem. It wasn't like I got bitched at about it all the time. It was just like, yeah, I know she'll hate this, so let me go smoke.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that too. You're like, yeah, Ashley's not liking this. I'm like, didn't she call your mom even?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was like she called your mama. Like, you know what Paul's doing? It's like, I mean, I know Paul loves his mom, but I don't think he's gonna. If she's like, Paul, don't smoke, he's gonna do anything but like, I love you, mom, but this is my fucking business.
Yeah.
Because I know that's how I'd handle it.
Yeah. It didn't work, but yeah, she flipped her shit. Mission accomplished. All it took is, 8 months of smoking.
Yeah. Who won in that exchange?
Ha ha ha.
Hey, dude, sometimes you gotta play the long game.
I guess so.
Fuck has got, dude. Every time with TJ, man, I'll be right back.
Yeah.
His internet might just be fucking up though.
Maybe so.
Because I know with this program, a lot of times he'll just be like, you'll have this like screen where it's like he's here, but he's not. Let me just give him a call and see if his shit's down.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that's probably what's going on.
Worth a look, I guess.
Well, I remember the number of times I was like waiting around for you guys, like, because like it looked like I was still on the fucking call.
Yeah.
But, I'd actually be out of the call, and you guys would be like, "Oh, Scotty's gone." Oh, TJ. Yep, he's refreshing. All right, so yeah, he realized it.
There he be.
There he be, old peg leg TJ.
Old baldy TJ.
Ahem.
Rapping cop suspended for filming transphobic video encouraging violence.
What a headline. Holy shit, man.
I think I actually saw this, but I had no idea the dude was a cop.
What a fucking headline.
Were you okay with it when you thought he wasn't a cop?
No, I thought he was retarded, but I didn't know he was actually had like power in society.
So to add like a double layer to, you're like, oh, so he's a real piece of shit. Like he's a piece of shit before, but then it's like, oh, he's a piece of shit with power.
I didn't know. I mean, I didn't really get when I was watching. I didn't really think he was a piece of shit so much as I just thought he was an idiot.
I gotcha.
But I don't know. He's probably a piece of shit too. By like a lot of idiots, like accidentally are pieces of shit. Just because they're too stupid to know what's good. Police officer in New York has been suspended and an investigation launched. Blah 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 blah. In the video, the man who identifies himself as Officer Robert Sisko, can seem to be wearing a police uniform with his name tag R Sisko. Maybe I didn't see this one because I don't think the guy I saw was actually wearing a cop uniform. Anyway, spit facts over feelings because your feelings are irrelevant. There's only 2 genders, and Trump's still your president.
Damn.
Some sick bars there, right, Paul?
Damn, dude. Whoa.
Hillary is Killary. We all know the reason. Where those emails at? We should hang her for treason.
This guy's like a Ben Shapiro rapper.
Your facts over feelings. Thank you.
Facts and feelings, yo. Good.
I'm spitting the facts. They don't care about your feelings. Gonna take Hillary Clinton's head and throw it on the ceiling. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't really care that much about the content of the rap. I think just any cop that has time on his hands to stand around and rap needs to be fired. We're not paying you to fucking rap, dude.
Well, you know what? What are you saying? The cop can't have a little hobby on the side?
Yes.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, I just, it is what it is, right? Buffalo protester Martin Gugino, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, has fractured skull and cannot walk. This is the 75-year-old man that was pushed to the ground.
Antifa plant? Question.
You mean the dangerous Antifa antagonist that was actively attacking cops when they defended themselves rightfully from his assault?
Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry.
TJ, do you have photos of this gentleman here, TJ? Do you have actual proof, TJ? He's an actor.
No, I guess I don't.
I mean, we keep having to take the mainstream media's word for it, TJ. Unless I see this guy from a hospital bed, which even then I believe is just
this is CNN, which as we know is fake news. So
yeah, I don't know why you pulled this, but okay.
75-year-old protester who was pushed by 2 Buffalo, New York police officers earlier this month has a fractured skull and is not able to walk. His lawyer said in a statement.
His lawyer said as he files a big time lawsuit against the city of Buffalo.
I am not at liberty to elaborate at this time, other than to confirm that his skull was fractured. While he is not able to walk yet, we were able to have a short conversation before he became too tired. He is appreciative of all the concern about him, but is still focused on the issues rather than himself. CNN has not been able to speak to Gugino directly, but in her press statement, Zarcone passed along a message from him. I think it's very unnecessary to focus on me. There are plenty of other things to think about besides me.
Sounds like a real asshole.
Yeah, he really sounds like a piece of shit. The thing is that I think that I don't know if he recognizes how vivid of an example he is of just how like needlessly brutal police are.
I mean, he's just now like waking up and shit. So.
Right. I don't think he realizes just how vivid and like memorable his particular case is, because he's just like literally an old man that just walks up to the police and is like, hey, you need to, and they're just like, out of the way, old timer. And he's fucking just down there bleeding out of his ear while they walk by, like, oh, he's bleeding.
You know the worst part too is the one cop like has the incorrect human response of like, let me check on this guy, and his superior's like, no,
like, oh shit, I think he's hurt, and the other cop's just like grabs him, like, get off that fucking piece of shit. We don't show concern for these maggots, And then all these cops like quit in solidarity with the one that got suspended. They're like, it's bullshit. He was suspended for this. We quit. I love how the one group of people that's actually taken Paul's solidarity advice is these fucking disgusting pigs.
Well, I mean, it just goes to show that as a concept, it works. Like police officers have been using the concept of solidarity for fucking decades and decades and decades. This whole like
your enemy, man.
Yeah. And, they show up en masse to protect one another. They protest when somebody's job is lost. Now, the end result of it, when it comes to a police office or a group of police officers that's been militarized, is shit like this. But it shows you, in theory, the fucking concept works. And, hey, I support this solidarity because it just means that there are less pigs that walk on the fucking street. Yeah. So fuck them. I wish every police officer would resign in solidarity with the cops. Resign in solidarity with that chick that didn't get her Egg McMuffin and that's afraid that she's going to be poisoned.
They poisoned my Egg McMuffin. Yeah.
The worst thing that's ever going to happen to her is someone's going to fucking spit in her Egg McMuffin. They say they're gonna fucking poison her. That's just ridiculous.
Everybody should be poisoned. Every egg McMuffin in
Well,
America.
you know what, TJ? you might catch flack for that. Everyone should be poisoned, TJ.
Everyone. Patrol. No gun found in car of Missouri woman shot by deputy.
Here's a shocker.
This is a very anti-cop show today. These kind of stories seem to be getting very popular for some reason. So I don't know.
I can't
don't know
imagine
why.
Yeah.
Missouri, investigators found no weapon inside a vehicle driven by a Missouri woman who was shot and killed by her.
I just like the name. I'm not laughing at her being shot. It's just that it's in Liberty, Missouri, and it's like, and the story is patrol. No gun found in car. Missouri woman shot by deputy. Just the irony.
It's in a state of liberty, Scotty. I'm not sure.
Yeah. It most clearly is not. It most clearly is not in a state of liberty.
Oh, she was. Hannah Pfizer, 25, died Saturday night after being shot by a Pettis County deputy following a traffic stop. The Missouri State Highway Patrol, which is investigating the shooting, initially said Pfizer was shot after she had a gun and threatened to shoot the deputy.
She said she had a gun.
She said she had a gun.
I have a gun and I'll shoot you. And then but investigators who searched her car did not find any weapon. Patrol spokesman Bill Lowe said Tuesday. He said no new information was available to explain why the situation escalated into a shooting. No one else was injured during the confrontation.
Check this out. No body camera or dash cam video of this encounter exists.
Oh, shocking.
Hmm.
Running a red light, I guess.
You guys know some, here's something crazy.
There's no camera. There's no footage. There's no dash cam. There's no,
If you guys want to hear something, if you guys heard something crazy, if you go to the Washington Post database on police shootings, and this isn't just saying unarmed shootings, just police shootings that these journalists have.
Right?
The vast majority of them that I read through, people were armed. I will say that, but also there was no any sort of no body cam present, no dash cam footage. There's no footage of the incident at all, and it was just time after time. And some of them were in smaller areas, but a lot of them were in major cities, and it's like wow. So it's like there's just no. So I mean that's why I'm saying in absence of a federal law, it's just a joke. It's like most of these people don't have fucking body cams. They're not using body cams. Most of these shootings are not even captured on camera. So we're having to rely on the police's word that they were armed. And here's an instance of that happening. She said she had a gun. She was going to kill me. Where's the gun? Oh, there isn't one.
I always like to check out the 3 comments. Cops must have tried to sexual assault her and then murdered her when she refused. Okay.
I mean, there's no proof of that, but that's shockingly possible.
No surprise there. Deputies stopped wearing cameras about 3 years ago because of technical difficulties and a lack of funding. I guess that's part of the article. That was also shortly after Trump took offices. Condolences to Hannah Pfizer's family, friends, community. Rest in peace. This cop story makes no sense. Of course it doesn't.
Yeah, because the cop's lying.
Yeah, she threatened to shoot me with the gun she didn't have, so I had to waste her.
You see, this is what she did, TJ. She had a gun. Look.
She made the finger gun at me, and I forgot that you can't really shoot someone with that, so I fucking opened fire.
Well, guys, he's been placed on paid administrative leave pending the investigation. So, no worries. Justice incoming.
Thank God for that. Lowe said the Pfizer investigation is a priority for the patrol, but it could be up to a month before all the reports are. Yeah. So nothing's going to happen.
No.
Interesting. Well, we'll keep
this
our eye
on this cop will be back on the beat in a month.
We will hear nothing more about the death of Hannah Pfizer, but maybe we will. Who knows? Air Force sergeant linked to Boogaloo movement charged in federal officer's death. The Boogaloo started hearing this word around the way a few months back.
Yeah.
This is basically Civil War, right?
This is like a 4chan
Civil War to kick off and stuff. Yeah.
This is like a pasty 4chan movement where it's like, these people incubate themselves in this environment where it's like, yeah, we're going to set off it's not even really civil war that they're going for. I don't think it's like just general chaos and, the sowing of fear and all of that shit.
So an Air Force sergeant already jailed over the ambush killings of a California sheriff's deputy was charged in connection with the shooting death of a federal security officer outside the U.S. courthouse in Oakland during a night violent protest last month. Officials say the man has ties to the anti-government Boogaloo movement. Sergeant Stephen Carrillo, or maybe it's Carrillo, I don't know, 32, was charged on Tuesday with murder and attempted murder in the killing of a 53-year-old federal officer, Dave Patrick Underwood. Carrillo separately faces state charges in the June 6th ambush and fatal shooting of Santa Cruz County Sheriff's Sergeant Damon Gutzwiller, and wounding 4 other officers in Ben Lamond, an unincorporated area outside the beachfront city of Santa Cruz, south of San Francisco. Carrillo, a leader of an elite military security force, had multiple links to the far-right anti-government Boogaloo movement, federal prosecutors said man, Boogaloo. Are you going to turn a fun word in like Boogaloo into some goddamn bullshit like that?
Of course.
Law enforcement officials said that they identified multiple pieces of evidence that link Carrillo to the developing anti-government extremist movement associated with the term Boogaloo, an ironic word for a violent uprising or impending civil war in the United States. Law enforcement officials discovered a ballistic vest with a Boogaloo flag on it in a van they said Carrillo had used, but also alleged that Carrillo had written phrases associated with the movement in his own blood on the hood of a car he hijacked, according to the criminal complaint against Carrillo. The phrases in blood include "boog," short for Boogaloo, and "I became unreasonable," a phrase associated with Marvin Heemeyer, an anti-government extremist from Colorado who is frequently cited in Boogaloo social media groups. Underwood died from gunshot wounds in a drive-by shooting outside the Ronald V. Dellums Federal Building in Oakland on the 29th of May. Another federal worker was critically injured. Officer was critically injured. The 2 contract security officers worked for Homeland Security's Federal Protective Services service and have been monitoring a nearby protest over the death of George Floyd. Blah, 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 blah. So basically, this is just their attempt to set off the Boogaloo.
Right.
They kill this guy, and then they pin it on BLM or whatever, and it kicks off the Boogaloo.
Yeah,
Boogaloo.
The BLM guys are killing the cops. We got to stop them.
Trying to escalate. They're basically just trying to escalate the violence and the social unrest so that they can get their wacky whatever the fuck they're trying to do.
Their Charles Manson-esque fantasies. I don't know.
And then our ragtag group of losers overthrows the government.
The Boogaloo.
Oh, man.
Great Boogaloo.
You can be indoctrinated with anything online now. This is what that proves.
Blah, blah, blah. Here's some kind of flag.
That's the Boogaloo flag, TJ. You better
There's
respect
a
it.
on it, I guess. Cool. I don't know. I don't know. Just, whatever happened, I guess. Good for them,
Good for the Boogaloo, TJ? Are you saying
What
good
the
for
hell,
the
TJ?
Boogaloo?
Good for them. They tried to start their little race war or whatever the fuck they're trying to do. And, it didn't work. But, hey, at least they tried. At least they're out there doing something, I guess.
At least you tried, son. You gunned down some people in the street. You tried to start a race war. You just didn't succeed.
And better luck next time. California inmate who died while in restraints cried out for help. Somebody's got to help me.
Great.
Unfortunately not.
So spoiler alert, nobody did.
Also turn our cameras off.
Yeah, cameras off.
Off.
You fucking pieces of shit.
CBS this morning as we continue our focus on how police officers
Why is this so low
and
volume?
sheriff's deputies handle suspects. A ProPublica investigation out today uncovers disturbing details about the death of a man in custody in California. ProPublica says it learned through surveillance video and documents that Riverside County jail staff failed to address Philip Garcia's urgent medical and mental health needs.
Shocking.
Staff used violent force against him, then lied about it in reports. Garcia died less than 2 days after his arrest in 2017. Carter Evans is following this case in Los Angeles. Carter, good morning.
Good morning, Anthony. Philip Garcia's family just settled a lawsuit with Riverside County. Now, they say Garcia was beaten in jail and he died from his injuries. Well, now ProPublica has obtained 17 hours of video from inside the jail.
Oh, I'm sure that's a fun watch.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure that's great. That's not. Yeah, I'm sure that 17 hours of footage is just like really, really fun.
Heartwarming.
Check out the heartwarming event of the summer. You know,
really reaffirm your faith in humanity.
I'm sure.
And a medical center. And we've got to warn you, some of it is very graphic.
The rest is really great, though.
In the last hours of his life, Philip Garcia can be heard pleading with deputies. Garcia died shortly after those pleas, and his death was ruled a homicide, according to his autopsy.
It is.
Okay. Everything's going great. This is fine.
Wow. I mean, just the inhumane treatment of people is just shocking, especially people who are mentally ill. And just the fact that the system is not equipped to deal with it at all. I mean, like, you have a mentally ill person just being brutally subjected and held down, like, please help me, please shut up. It's like, what the fuck? I mean, like, it's just such a disheartening thing to see. I mean, it's like, it doesn't matter how vulnerable you are. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what state of mind you're in. It's just the same brutality and brutal approach. Like, shut up! Do what you're told! And if you can't, you're fucked.
Crisis. Combined with rhabdomyolysis, a fatal condition that can be caused by overexertion.
The psychological crisis combined with the restraints led to the fatal condition.
Whatever, you liberal pussy. Look at this fuck. We're supposed to listen to this little fucking bitch. I think they treated him about as well as he deserved.
ProPublica reporter Ryan Gabrielson co-authored the story. He said they believe Garcia arrived at the jail in a state of psychosis.
The sheriff's department saw him only as someone who wouldn't follow orders, and that had to be punished.
They do not obey. Those who do not obey deserve no quarter. They must be destroyed.
And that's exactly what I was fucking saying. It's like, that's literally what it is. If you cannot comply for any reason, or you choose not to comply.
You do not comply with my commands.
I've seen it. You guys are probably, well, Paul, I doubt you watch this kind of shit, but I've seen so many episodes of, especially when I was younger, like Cops and Live PD. It's like, do as you're told. Better listen. It's like, wow. So it really just shows you the mentality that these guys carry into this. Like, when they start losing themselves in the moment, it's just like, I am above you. You're to obey me.
Well, there's this thought process that goes on in people that defend this type of shit, that it's never going to be me with the knee on his neck. It's never going to be me strapped down to a fucking table pleading for my life while fucking 8 cops crush me and kill me. You know what I mean? It's never going to be me, so fuck this dirtbag. He got what he deserved, you know what I mean? And it's just one of the problems with trying to convince people of an injustice that's been ingrained in them by the culture that we lived in, because Cops is a perfect fucking example of that. My whole fucking generation was just obsessed with watching cops beat the shit out of black men, chase small-time drug dealers around, and throw them bleeding into the back of cop cars and shit, because it ain't me. It's not me that's out there having these fucking, but now, you know what I mean? We're seeing the end result of that empowerment. We're seeing that it wasn't just us that was participating in this fucking celebration of violence. It was the cops. Like, they were, oh, okay, we can get away with this shit now? Well, fucking hey, bro. Let's start crushing some necks in the streets. Start beating some fucking prisoners.
Months investigating the case and found deputies repeatedly struck, shoved, and twisted Garcia's head and limbs when he was already tied down.
Yeah, no shit.
Its analysis of records and video it obtained, ProPublica concluded that deputies falsified jail logs and then made false statements in their reports after Garcia died.
Why would they do such a thing?
Oh, what? So they murdered him. It's state-sanctioned murder. Hooray.
Oh, it's so fun.
And the great And the great thing about this is this is the group of cops that got caught doing it.
Yep.
How many fucking police officers do this shit all the time?
None. Only this time.
Only this one time, and we caught it.
Oh,
yeah,
dude,
we got it.
We've heard stories going throughout the years. Of just people going to jail, then just they're found unconscious in their cells, and they're just dead. It's a miracle. They just somehow they got arrested, and then a few days later they were dead, or they have a serious health problem, and the police are just like, and the cops in the jail are like, shut up, I feel real bad, shut up. Oh, wouldn't you know, 2 days later that man or that woman was found dead. It's like, wow,
Dude,
really?
All I've got to say is that Jeffrey Epstein did not self him kill.
Every Epstein, dude. Yeah, every Epstein is
Jeffrey Epstein did not himself end the kill with the dead.
And I guess breaking news, it says here, Atlanta officer charged in Rayshard Brooks fatal shooting.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not surprised. That was when I saw a bunch of these fucking bootlickers defend too.
Bootlicker? Hell your boots.
But whatever. Fuck the bootlickers. Oh, Paul, this is some news for you. First Dune footage to be shown during WB's re-release of Inception.
What?
Yeah. Since Tenet vacated the July 17th release date, Warner Brothers decided to give Christopher Nolan's fans a treat for that date anyway with their re-release of Inception. However, even if you're a fan of Inception and have seen it a million times, the studio is adding a little bonus that might be worth the price of a movie ticket. According to a report from /film, WB is set to release Inception on Tenet's previous July 17th date, and accompanying the film will be a special promo reel that will offer sneak peeks at some of the studio's upcoming features, including Wonder Woman 1984, Dune, and Godzilla vs. Kong.
Sick.
Obviously, including Wonder Woman 1984 is a no-brainer, as the film is expected to be released in June. Then was pushed back to August, but finally landed on an October release date due to the pandemic. However, for fans of Denis Villeneuve, the inclusion of Dune in the promo reel is going to attract some interest. This will mark the first time that people get to see footage from the upcoming film, which is still scheduled to arrive in December. It's also being rumored that WB is likely going to release the first full trailer for the film at the upcoming virtual Comic-Con event at the end of the month. So the footage seen at the Inception re-release is likely going to be exclusive to theaters and won't be featured in the trailer. As mentioned, with the film arriving in December, now is the time for the studio to begin their push for Dune, if the film is expected to be the blockbuster that everyone hopes it'll be. Warner Brothers spent a lot of money on Villeneuve's vision of the Frank Herbert novel and has already begun development on the second part, which is expected to finish telling the story of the original Dune book. In addition, the studio is already working on a TV spin-off of the franchise. What? So again, a lot is riding on the December release of the film.
Interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, Paul, it looks like I don't know if you're gonna brave the COVID sphere to go.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll
count this footage, but I
don't know if I'll go into the biohazard zone that is a theater in order to see this. But I'm sure it'll pop up online, and I'm happy to hear that at the very least I'll get a trailer at the end of the month. You know?
Yeah, it sounds like either way, footage from the film is going to start hitting.
I'm telling you, man. I have.
Oh shit, dude!
I have allowed myself to enter a zone that I don't normally do when it comes to hype. With this film, I'm ready. My body is ready. My dick is rock hard and throbbing and ready.
Yeah,
for this fucking for this movie. So right, if it sucks, man, it's gonna crush me, dude.
I know, right? Let me ask you this: when's the last time you got super hyped for something and then it sucked?
Fuck, I don't know, man.
You ever got like super amped up, like holy shit, this is gonna be awesome, and then it was like, ooh.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but I know it's happened to me. It's happened to me enough times to where I just don't get hyped up about shit anymore.
Yeah, I can't really think of too many times. I don't really get amped up for too many things, and when I do, usually they turn out to be pretty fucking awesome.
I mean, I remember being pretty amped up for like Jurassic Park 2. And that ended up kind of sucking.
Dude.
Oh,
Doom 3.
Oh, yeah.
Doom 3, dude.
Video game wise, that happens a lot.
I didn't really have that. So, I'd pretty much already written off video games at that point.
You're dumb, TJ. Now the new Doom is
apparently not, because I didn't have to suffer that fucking disappointment. You know what though? Honestly, this was, I don't even know why I was so hyped for this movie, because there wasn't like there was not a lot of hype around it, but I was like super hype for The Rage, Carrie 2. I was like, yeah, Carrie 2 is gonna be fucking awesome, bro. It's gonna be awesome, man.
It's a turd.
Carrie 2 is coming out, man. It's gonna be my generation's fucking Carrie and shit. And it came out. I was like, oh, this is really, really bad.
Awful.
What the fuck? So that was a bad one. But usually when
why would you get psyched up for Carrie 2 though, man? That's like such a it's a non.
I'm a big fan of the original Carrie, and I thought like, wow, they could do it so much better with like today's special effects and shit. And you know,
they just no.
And you know, it didn't work out. It didn't work out that way.
Look, I think Paul's optimism in Dune is well placed, considering
the last. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, just the past project that Denis Villeneuve has done, which is Blade Runner 2049.
Yes, Villeneuve.
I mean, when it comes to Dune, I know the source material is there. I'm hoping that it goes beyond just the first book. Like, I'm hoping this is a giant smash and it's great, and they do at least the first, like the original trilogy of Dune.
Well, they're already working on part 2, which is going to complete, because they're going to break the first book into 2 movies, wisely, I think. And apparently, this is the first I've heard of this, but apparently they're working on some kind of TV show as well. I don't know what the fuck that's about, but okay.
I mean, it's definitely like a popular medium.
Look, guys,
the universe seems like it could easily hold a TV show in it. So
it occurs to me that movies like Transformers have made billions of dollars. If fucking Dune can't fucking do the same as that, then you know what? We officially just have, we're all on notice. Reality sucks. Like, this is the best we can get. We actually got a Dune movie. And even if it's actually good and the dum-dums won't go see it and doesn't make any money, it's like, well, we won't even get a part 2.
Dude, I went and saw that movie, Dune, you know? It's supposed to be some kind of cool movie or something, but like, it was a lot of fucking talking and bullshit. And,
well, I mean, that's what happened with fucking really Blade Runner.
Boring and shit, it's fucking stupid.
That's my fucking fear, though. My fucking fear is that, like, we all like go like, Dune is awesome, but then all the dum-dums go like, Dune is dumb.
I seen it. It wasn't no good. It was
boring.
I hope I'm wrong, man. That like, I have to hold that inside me too, because I just don't want to get so psyched out. Oh man, Dune's coming. Oh my god, look at the trailer. Oh, it looks amazing. Oh, look at the trailer. Oh, it's amazing. Oh, it's gonna be great. Oh, it is great. Oh, it's wonderful. What's the public think? Sucks.
This is dumb, dude. You see that little wuss they cast in the movie, that Timothy Chalamet or whatever the fuck? He's stupid. He's like a little pussy. You know what I mean?
So but I hope I'm wrong on that. I hope it does well. And I know we have the overseas markets too, so we can hope that it has a big, release overseas. So
I ain't never seeing another Denis Villeneuve movie again. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, it better be good.
Paul was arrested. Holy shit.
Oh no.
No, black pastor arrested after calling 911 on group of white people.
Wow, this is a weird. I think this is like the first time I've heard a story like this. That's weird. Okay.
So a sheriff in Virginia has apologized to a black pastor who was arrested after calling 911 on a group of white people who now face hate crime and assault charges.
Oh, okay. Never mind. The title of this was totally deceiving.
Shenandoah County Sheriff Timothy Carter made an apology to Pastor Leon K. McRae Sr. for how deputies responded to an altercation in Edinburgh this month. McRae said the group threatened to kill him after he stopped them from dumping a refrigerator on his property, but arriving deputies arrested him instead, driving him away as the group shouted racist epithets. 2 sheriff supervisors are now on unpaid leave pending an investigation. So he's at his church. He catches these fucking white trash motherfuckers. Apparently, Paul was there. So Paul knows this story firsthand.
Damn, Paul, come on, dude.
I was trying to tell them to stop, and I got gaffled up.
You were the voice of reason.
Yeah.
So these weird fucking inbred looking motherfucking hillbillies show up and try to dump a refrigerator on this dude's property. The cops are called by the pastor. The cops show up and they're like, the black guy has got to be the aggressor here.
Take him to jail.
While these 5 white people are like, yeah, take that, you know. You know what I'm saying? And yeah.
Yeah, and I dude, that's like
you know what doesn't exist in this country though? Systemic racism. That's not a thing.
How do you
no. I want to remind everyone that that's not a thing at all.
It's just
These people look like they wandered right out of The Hills Have Eyes or something.
I know, right?
Especially number 3. You know?
Yeah, number 3 just looks like meth came to life and formed a being.
Yeah, it's like he's not even a human. He's just
the power of meth.
Methamphetamine.
Yeah.
That's fucking given form.
Dude, you know, oh my God, dude, I just had a thought. The fucking top row that's like the before is when he has a beard. It's like before meth. And that's
dude,
like,
you know what? It's just if you fucking look at the order, it's just there in the fucking on the far left is Paul, and there in the top middle is fucking Paul from 8 years ago.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And then
there's
on the right is meth Paul.
Yeah. And then there's I don't even know what that fucking guy. Paul, come up with a thing for that guy.
What, the dude on the bottom?
Yeah, bottom left guy.
I mean, I don't know. He looks like he barbecues pretty well.
Is that pedo Paul? I don't know. Does he have a van? I'm not sure.
And it looks like he'd probably do a killer barbecue. And she's definitely the hot one of the group. On the bottom right.
And she's definitely rutting with all these dudes.
Well, maybe.
No, she's definitely.
I don't know if she could get it. I don't even know if the person at the top is a man, to be honest with you.
Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah, that's true.
Read their names. See if there's 2 female names. It was underneath there.
All right. Sheriff's Office shows Danny Salyers.
Okay.
Dennis Salyers. So these 2 are related.
Yeah.
Farrah Salyers. That is a woman, dude.
It's a woman.
Oh shit, dude. Oh shit.
That is even more meth personified.
Yeah, that is meth personified. Yeah, there's no
Christopher
doubt now.
Sharp and Amanda Salyers. So another Salyer there.
Wow.
So a bunch of the Salyers clan. Everyone was a Salyer except for Christopher Sharp here, who was riding with the Salyers, I guess. But I still maintain they're all fucking this one.
You never know.
Yeah, I these people, they're special. They're real special. Oof. Oof.
That story, man. That story. The cops show up, look at these fucking meth heads.
Yeah, look at these fucking.
and
they grab the pastor of a black church and drag him away.
They threatened to kill me. They're dumping a fridge. They threatened to kill me. Get in the back of the squad car. Take him away. Take that piece of shit away. It's like, what the fuck is going on?
This one out at the jailhouse.
Okay. All right. Well, good job, Virginia. Good job. You done fucked up, Virginia.
I don't know about
would you trust these guys? Would you trust
you know what this picture is? This is the new state flag of fucking Virginia, dude.
Dude, you wouldn't trust these guys with a fucking nickel, dude. Come the fuck on.
Dude, someone print this out on a piece of fucking cloth and hang this up, because this is the fucking Virginia. This is the official new state flag of fucking Virginia right here.
I guarantee you they stole that fucking fridge and you're like, it ain't worth shit. Dump it there. I mean, these are the kind of people that go into fucking houses that have been like foreclosed on or abandoned and fucking pull the copper wiring out of the fucking walls. Give me a fucking break. Who would? Oh, okay.
I don't know why you're shitting on these salt of the earth people here.
Oh yeah, it is. Salt of the meth, maybe. Salt of the meth.
Meth of the earth.
Yeah, meth of the earth. There you go.
In just 24 hours, Brazil sets a grim new record with almost 35,000 new coronavirus cases.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Brazil on Tuesday recorded its highest daily jump in new coronavirus cases since the start of the pandemic, with nearly 35,000 registered in 24 hours, the health ministry said. The country, which has the second highest number of coronavirus cases and deaths in the world after the United States, reported 34,918 new cases and 1,282 new deaths in the past 24 hours.
You know what, dude?
That brought Brazil's total case. By the way, there's a dude on my Twitter who relentlessly tells me that this disease is fake.
Yeah.
Oh, it's,
like, it's a total setup,
dude,
to get us all to fucking destroy the
economy. Never explained why or to like whose benefit or any of that, but he's just like, every time I talk about it, he's like, dude, again with this, like, when you just admit COVID-19 is not fucking real, dude. I'm not saying the disease isn't real. I'm saying like this idea that it's a pandemic or that it's killing people is all bullshit, man.
Okay, well, I mean,
what are you talking about? Where's your evidence?
There's overwhelming evidence.
I understand fucking virology and shit, bro.
Yeah, whatever. The guy's a retard. You know, the evidence lies in front of him. You know, there's fucking countless videos of people walking through hospitals stacked with fucking bodies and trailers outside stacked with bodies.
Wrong, Scotty.
Okay.
Wrong.
If he did a basic investigation.
The one that I've heard is that this is an attempt to fuck over the economy and thus fuck over Donald Trump. Like, that's the one I hear the most often, is that the coronavirus is a big liberal lie to get us all scared and to tank the economy so that Donald Trump looks bad, so that, you know, Biden gets elected or whatever the fuck.
Just how sad that a fucking pandemic just becomes a completely politicized issue where it's like, nah, I just don't believe in it. It's like, but all these people are dying from this disease and getting this disease, and you can actually scientifically test and verify this disease exists. Like, it's not like a matter of opinion. Nope, bullshit.
Let me tell you something. Everyone who's died from this, old. Gonna die anyway.
Yeah.
The majority are older, yes, that's true.
Yeah, and all of them were on death's door.
Well, not all of them. Some of them are fine.
Every fucking old person who dies, they just say, oh, COVID-19 did it, so they can fucking rack up that number.
Yeah, definitely time to be throwing open the doors of face-to-face commerce again, for sure, in the world.
Dude, you know what,
there was a time, it's now.
Our country should be happy about that. Can you go back to that for a second, TJ? Because I have something to say about it.
I didn't mean to.
No, you're good. But we should be happy. In this country, we should be. I'll tell you why. That there's a country dumber than us. It's kind of like how Louisiana needs like Mississippi to exist. Like, we kind of, at this point, the U.S. really needs Brazil to exist, because we're like, it's like, oh damn, the U.S. fucked up so badly. We're so dumb. Oh, we made all these horrible decisions. How's Brazil doing? No big deal. Have carnival. It doesn't matter. Everyone get the disease. Yay. I mean, the president of that country literally held a barbecue, dude. And he's just like, nah, it's bullshit. He's basically the guy on your Twitter. Maybe you're arguing with the president of fucking Brazil right now on Twitter, TJ.
Well, yeah, Bolsonaro said it was like a flu. He was like, it's like a little bitty flu.
Yeah. So it's like,
the guy I was talking to said basically the same shit. But I walked out the other day into my like kitchen or whatever, and Chelsea was sitting at the kitchen table looking at her phone. And she was like, did you know Louisiana is the 49th worst state in terms of, and she had, I don't remember the exact statistic, but she was like 49th dumbest state or poorest state or whatever fuck. And I was like, thank God for Mississippi. Because I didn't even have to ask. I just knew. I'm like, she's like, how do you know Mississippi's number 50? Because Mississippi's always number 50, girl.
Yeah.
That's how I know that. Speaking of Brazil, though, they're killing the dolphins, too, the fucking pieces of shit. Amazon River dolphins risk extinction if Brazil moratorium not renewed. This is another fucking Bolsonaro bullshit. You know the pink river dolphins? A pair of pink Amazon River dolphins emerges for just a moment, arcing above the chocolate brown waters inside. Blah 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 blah. Anyway, the whole point. I mean, I don't want to get into it too much because but whatever. But like, yeah, they're killing all the dolphins, man, because there was a hunting moratorium against them. Bolsonaro's like, yeah, fuck it, hunt them all you want, and now they're fucking on the verge of fucking extinction, man. So
they'll be gone soon.
Yeah, it's bullshit. Shit. Yeah, here they are. Here's a dead one.
Yeah, great, wonderful.
All fucking butchered and shit.
Wonderful, great, awesome, fantastic.
Indigenous beliefs hold the river dolphins, which transform from gray to pink as it ages, is a magical creature. Blah blah blah. No, who cares?
Yeah,
kill them all.
Just fucking extinguish their flame from reality.
Yeah. I'd like to apologize. I'd like to apologize to all our patrons at this point, because at this point in the show, I'm officially numb. This has been literally nothing but bad news, stacked on bad news, stacked on horrible flaming death news, stacked on fucking cop news, stacked on racist news, stacked on fucking ecological collapse news, stacked on stupid people news, stacked on COVID news. I'm just done. Like at this point, my brain has checked out. I'm not going to be funny anymore. I might make a quip here and there, but I'm just letting you know that
Paul's done.
I'm no longer fucking capable.
Paul has become.
Well, I can't even blame you, dude. When you just because like of all the stories we've read, they're all terrible. They're all terrible. But then you get to something like this.
Hold on, maybe the next one is going to be good.
No, I'm just saying. But like you get to this, and it's like the Amazon River dolphin risks extinction if Brazil, and then you look at the picture. And it's a fucking dolphin holding out a fucking like little like leaf to you, like hello. And then it's just like that. Must imagine that people going like, yeah, killed another one. Look at it. It's
hello, human.
dead.
I am one of the many peaceful species that shares this planet with you. My brain is capable of functioning almost just like yours. I have feelings and an inner life. Skin it and hang it up on the wall. Welcome to fucking planet Earth. Fuck this place. Fuck this show. We need a new concept. Covering the news is just horrible. It's horrible.
Scientists edited human embryos in the lab, and it was a disaster.
Of course it was, because why wouldn't it work out okay? This is flash fried. What did they do? Make a big fucking giant 3-headed homunculus that went and slew a bunch of fucking endangered manatees somewhere or something?
Yeah, maybe.
What happened?
A team of scientists has used the gene editing technique CRISPR to create genetically modified human embryos in a London lab, and the results of the experiment do not bode well for the prospect of gene-edited babies. Biologist Kathy Niakan and her team at the Francis Crick Institute wanted to better understand the role of a particular gene in the earliest stages of human development. So using CRISPR, they deleted that gene in human embryos that have been donated for research. When they analyzed the edited embryos and compared them to ones that hadn't been edited, they found something troubling. Around half of the edited embryos contained major unintended edits. There's no sugarcoating this, said Fyodor Yurnov, a gene editing expert and professor of molecular and cell biology at the University of California, Berkeley. This is a restraining order for all genome editors to stay the living daylights away from embryo editing. While the embryos were not grown past 14 days and were destroyed after the editing experiment, the results provide a warning for future attempts to establish pregnancies with genetically modified embryos and make gene-edited babies. The findings were posted online to the preprint server BioRxiv. I don't know if that's pronounced a certain way or not, but whatever, on June 5th and have not been peer-reviewed. Such genetic damage described in the paper could lead to birth defects or medical problems like cancer later in life. So basically, they tried to edit out one gene, and they found that somehow this like had some sort of cascade effect or something along those lines that ended up editing multiple other genes. Thus, we're probably further away from this gene editing technology. If this is replicable in like peer-reviewed study and stuff, we're probably a little further away from this technology than we might have thought if this is the case.
Well, I mean, that's why this science has to occur. They have to, it's like, oh, we can take this out and see what happens. And it's like, oh, wow, it's horrible. We can't take that out. We can't do it that way. That's not going to work at all. So it's pretty interesting, I guess, from a layman's perspective. I mean, we've often heard, and there's movies like, what is it, Gattaca?
Yep.
Where it's like, you can have that, like, the gene edited fucking kid, the kid that's perfect, that whole ideal.
Designer baby.
Yeah, the designer baby. But it looks like we're not any closer to that reality currently. I mean, maybe we are.
Who knows? This is just one article about one paper that hasn't even been subject to peer review yet.
So I wouldn't give it too much.
We can't put too much stock into just this, but
Sure, interesting nonetheless.
An interesting little thing to take a look at. New photos released to find woman accused of starting Wendy's fire during protest. So the Wendy's where I think it was Sherrard Brooks was his name, right? The guy that was shot in the Wendy's parking lot.
Rayshard Brooks, yeah.
The Wendy's was burned down. And I guess they're trying to find the chick who did it. If I find her, I'll give her a medal, but whatever.
Is that
Yeah, I love how this Wendy's is being treated by especially right-wing media outlets.
Let's not forget who the real victim is here, all right?
Oh, that beautiful pig-tailed red-headed girl, Wendy, burned down her house.
I want you guys to think about Dave Thomas and what he created and what was destroyed last night.
Yeah, even though
Think
Wendy's
about all the fresh food that you've had.
Even though Wendy's revenue for 2018 was $1.5 billion, 1.5.
They're never going to recover from
Yeah,
this.
there's just no way.
Why burn down the Wendy's, Scotty?
We should have a national monument on par with what we have at Ground Zero for 9/11 on the spot of this Wendy's.
We need like a fucking statue of like Dave Thomas standing proud, you know, and holding Wendy's hand on one hand side, and maybe like a young Rashard Brooks on the other side, you know, standing in unity.
And actually, TJ, I'm sorry, like actually from the 2019 numbers, $1.7 billion.
Yeah.
So
good.
yeah, there's no way. And I you know, this building was insured. It's gonna be rebuilt.
Oh, so it's fine for people to burn things down as long as they're insured, huh? That's how it works now, huh?
If there's political protests, then yeah, that probably is what's going to happen
how it
sometimes.
works now, huh? Think about the poor Wendy's.
I don't personally want to burn any place down, but people,
minimum wage workers who worked at that Wendy's.
Yeah, I'm sure they're desolated. Sure,
think about the community. Think about all the people in that community just want their square burgers.
Think about the people in the community that are going, oh shit, that could be me. I don't want to die at the hands of the brutal fucking thugs of the state. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah,
why you're fucking, you know, you're trying to pivot to some other point here.
I mean, given the scope of the tragedy that we've covered just tonight by taking a scattershot look at the news, the fact that there are people out there that give a flying motherfuck about a Wendy's being burned down is fucking shocking.
It's unconscionable.
Is it really?
The world is literally crumbling under your feet, and you're following 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week updates on this Wendy's. A second suspect in the Wendy's burning has been identified by police officers. Stay tuned for updates throughout the day as we find out who burnt this Wendy's. Who fucking cares who burnt the Wendy's?
It was some chick. By the way, she was white. And I hope she gets away with it.
Yeah,
there's pretty clear.
She's not gonna.
Not gonna.
No, she's gonna go to fucking jail. But you know what? I mean, if that's the price you have to pay, you know, that's the price I guess people have to pay. I mean, and like she made that decision, and she probably knew full well if she made the decision, she might get caught. So,
video shows suicidal father drive off cliff with twin daughters in car. Police say.
What? TJ,
and some uplifting news
dude,
today.
Me and fucking Paul are picking the fucking shit for Flash Friday next week.
All the time, it seems like.
You literally have a story about someone driving off a fucking cliff, like literally.
Turn your cameras off.
Drives off
yeah.
with 2 young daughters sitting on his lap. Tonight, a San Diego police officer is being called a hero for saving their lives. Fox 5 Jeff McAdams spoke with him, and he joins us live from the accident site. Jeff.
You feel that's right? Yeah, well, we got our hands on this footage. The footage of the dad
footage is
riding off
fucking
the cliff.
insane, by the way.
About an hour ago, we got to warn you, it's a little bit tough to watch. Before we get to that, we'll set the stage. It looks like in this video that the dad was in his truck coming straight down Hill Street, and then he went just right over the side of the cliff through these wooden stanchions and about 50 feet down below. This happened early Saturday morning. Here's the video. The car looks to hit the curb and then go airborne, splashing down about 50 feet below. We spoke to the officer who responded, saved all 3 of them, dad and the 2 twin toddlers. The officer says he got a call that the dad might be suicidal and that he was driving with his 2 kids. Maybe.
I am shocked that everybody lived through that.
Wow.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
I mean, I'm glad. That's just to see that. Wow.
So this daddy fucking kidnapped his 2 daughters. He was writing their mom like, "You ain't never seeing your kids again, bitch. I'm killing myself and them."
Oh, fuck
and then
him.
he drives off this cliff, and everybody lived, including him. He's definitely going to jail.
I'm just glad the kid's right. Fuck him. I don't care if he survived it or not. If that's what was going on.
And his first statement was, "I couldn't believe we didn't die," because he was trying to commit suicide. And then he told me the girls were actually sitting in his lap when he drove off the cliff and no one had seatbelts on. I couldn't fathom how they survived. The passenger parts were crushed except for the driver's area, the officer told Fox 5. So had they been in car seats in the back or anywhere else, they probably wouldn't have survived the impact. If they'd been strapped in, they might have drowned.
Crazy.
So it's literally fucking insane that they were able to survive this fucking.
You know, you just never know with car wrecks, man. And they got super fucking lucky. Super fucking lucky.
Yeah, you could be like in the most minor car accident ever and just like it popped some fucking aneurysm in your head or whatever the fuck, and then you just keel over. That's how Sam Kinison died.
Yep, Sam Kinison, dude.
Yeah, he was in a relatively minor little car accident, was walking around. Next thing you know, dead.
Yeah.
Trump denounces John Bolton's book, says conversations are highly classified.
Yeah, there must be like John Bolton must know some shit that Trump is real afraid of getting out.
Trump is really not pleased that this book is coming out. Like he's trying to like throw like the full power of his office like into stopping this book from being released. So this one must be the one he's not, because like there have been some little tell-alls that came out and he was just like, whatever, I don't give a fuck. But this Bolton one, he is not pleased. He is upset. Oh shit, Paul's dying. Paul's got captain trips.
Sneezing.
President Trump on Monday attacked ex-National Security Advisor John Bolton's forthcoming book, arguing that any conversation with him as president is highly classified.
Of course.
Also suggested that criminal charges should be pursued against anyone who writes a book based on those supposedly classified chats. I will consider every conversation with me as president highly classified, Trump told reporters Monday when asked about the upcoming tell-all account from the former official's tenure at the White House. So that would mean if he wrote a book and if the book gets out, he's broken the law. I would think he would have criminal problems. Bolton's book is expected to reveal alleged Ukraine-like transgressions. Publisher Simon & Schuster wrote in a statement on Friday, Bolton is said to have written a detailed personal account of these and other revelations that unfolded in the Trump White House and far exceed the original claims made against the president during the House impeachment inquiries last fall. Although the book was already delayed from an original publication date set for March due to a standard security review for classified information ahead of publication by the National Security Council, Attorney General Bill Barr claims the process was never completed. I don't know if any book that has been published so quickly while the office holders are still in government, and it's about very current events, current leaders, current discussions, current policy issues, many of which are inherently classified, Barr said Monday at an event with Trump. Barr dodged questions about the impending lawsuit to stop the book titled The Room Where It Happened from hitting shelves in its current iteration, which ABC News reported on Monday. Trump is really this is a Streisand effect because like I hate John Bolton and I never thought I'd want to read a book by him, but the fact that the Trump administration is trying to stop this book from coming out this hardcore,
yeah, it makes you want to read it.
Makes you want to read the fucking book.
This book is gonna make some serious fucking dough, dude.
Yeah, this is total Streisand effect, and that Trump should just be like, yeah, let him put out his book. It's all lies. Fuck him.
Well, see, that's the thing is like Trump has already read this book, like his people have. I doubt he has, but like they've had the manuscript for this book for months and they've been fighting it. And like there's something in there that they just don't want people to know.
Probably more than one thing.
Oh, almost certainly more than one thing. But I mean, it's like, yet again, like TJ said, you can always defer to it, be like, look, this is a guy that Trump had a falling out with that is he's just trying to make shit up to sell books.
Grapes trying to fucking,
Kaplan trying to cash in.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, the fact that they're trying to stop this book makes it seem more credible and makes it seem way more interesting, because I fucking think John Bolton is a piece of shit from the seventh layer of hell. And
yeah, what does it say about Trump that he had a falling out with that piece of shit? Like, how big of a piece of shit do you have to be to like where John Bolton's like, we can't be cool.
All right. I love this. Why Quibi's $2 billion experiment is struggling. Audiences are turned off by star-studded 10-minute films because they can only watch on cell phones, can't share on social media, and are still turning to Netflix. Loop Ventures, man, like you guys saw these Quibi ads everywhere.
I saw a million.
Right?
Yeah, I've seen them.
Like before this launch, it was just like blue, blue, blue. Everything was fucking Quibi. It's just like all these ads, constant. Every time I clicked on a YouTube video, get Quibi. And apparently it's flopping bad.
That was obvious.
Users said they found short stories confusing and complained they couldn't watch it on another device while scrolling through their phones. Since Quibi launched on April 6th, it has been downloaded 3.2 million times in Apple and Google Play app stores, but active subscribers are only at 1.3 million. Quibi aimed to have 7 million subscribers in the first year, so falling well short of that. A research analyst believes Quibi is struggling to rival streaming platforms like Netflix because its content isn't compelling enough and it doesn't fill people's time.
So do I understand this correctly? Like, people are mad at this because it takes exclusive control over their phone and won't let them do other shit while they're streaming it?
That's correct.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Dude, that's kind of fucking... Doesn't that kind of show you where things are going in terms of entertainment and how people consume it and shit? I used to be a dude that was like all bad on this shit, but now, I know that my fucking insane boomer ramblings against the fucking digital age are not going to stop it. So like, what does it mean for content that it has to be consumable while a person is also engaged in several other activities to be palatable?
They also say that a problem with it is it's not long enough. People want things that are more like immersive. That's why binge watching is so popular now. People don't want this 10-minute shit. And if they do want it, they just go to YouTube to get it. They don't need to see it with fucking Sarah Jessica Parker or whoever the fuck celebrity they overpaid to do some short story, It's
just it's something that the market wasn't clamoring for, dude. If anything, entertainment is skewed longer, not shorter. In the social media space, it's different because there's an inherent thing like, oh, this is like a thing I think is funny, but it's 30 seconds. Like it's like a TikTok or whatever it is, or it's a Snapchat or whatever the fuck thing is. So people share that with everyone in their fucking social circles.
I mean, I thought that like I would have thought as a dude that's new, like not into the shit, that the ascendancy of TikTok, which is, as I understand it, right, it's quick shit, right?
Yes,
very quick.
It's like a minute or less kind of shit.
Yes.
I would have thought that something like this, where they're taking like stars and actual production value and putting it into that smaller, compacted kind of content, would have taken off. Honestly, like if you'd asked me 6 months ago and given me this business thing, I would have been like, oh, this is going to be huge.
Well,
but there's clearly something missing from it.
One of the problems is that you can't share it. So it's not like shareable and shit. So they pretty much undercut any sort of virality they might have had.
Oh, you can't like post a Quibi video or like whatever. Oh.
And also, I think the fact that it's not user generated, like I think that for that sort of short form content, people want that user generated shit, not some polished Hollywood product that they can only watch on their phone, that they can't watch when they're doing something else. Like the thing about something like TikTok is it's so short that it's just like, oh, check out this TikTok. Oh, okay, I mean, I don't really know because I don't fucking use that shit because it's garbage. But I'm assuming, from the perspective of like the boomer atop the mountain looking down at the shit that's going on in the world, I assume that's how it works.
It's a lot of people scrolling through shit. It's like, oh, that's interesting. I want to see that. So it's like with Quibi, it probably just feels too limited. With these other sites,
here's a guy that's just. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
I'm saying with a lot of these social media sites, there's so many people. You can like, okay, what does this person say? What's this person saying? Like, and then you can kind of just sort through that. Like this Quibi shit is probably kind of limited. So unless there's a show that seems really compelling to you, and then you really just like that format, like, oh, I like the 10-minute thing. Like, unless you really like that, I mean, most shows are 20, 30 minutes for a reason. That's a well it's like been predetermined that like this is what a lot of people like for shows, 30 minutes to an hour, which usually ends up being like 25 minutes or 55 minutes. It's somewhere around there. Like these things are very established, and that's what people kind of expect from a show. So you're actually really going against what someone's expecting from storytelling. So you have to have a super compelling way to do that. I don't think Quibi's doing that.
I love that this guy's comment here. It's pretty funny that venture capitalists poured billions into Quibi, not realizing the fundamental truth that people want to look at their phones while a show is on their TV.
Yeah.
Well, that's a shame. Shame for them. Luckily for those venture capitalists, there's way more where that came from.
Yeah, they're not running out of money with it. We said we were going to talk about this, so let's just go ahead and we'll probably just end with it. Police union blasted after accusing Shake Shack of adding bleach to shakes. A controversy is brewing over some milkshakes consumed at the Fiddy, I don't know, outpost of Shake Shack. A police labor union says 3 officers were hospitalized after having milkshakes at that location Monday night, which the union claims had traces of a toxic substance, most likely bleach. The NYPD, however, quickly cleared Shake Shack employees of any wrongdoing, and there's growing skepticism around the union's allegations, with even Mayor Bill de Blasio chiming in Tuesday morning. These police union leaders, not all but too many, stand in the way of progress. They don't want the truth. They just want to sow division. Commentators online responded to the allegations with skepticism, with some likening the event to when a police officer in Kansas falsely accused McDonald's baristas of printing the words "fucking pig" on their cup of coffee late last year. The officer later admitted to adding the words to the label himself. These doubts raised by the public come amid growing calls to significantly reduce police funding in light of the ongoing protest against police violence. The controversy erupted Monday night when the labor union New York Patrolmen's Benevolent Association said 3 officers had been admitted to Bellevue Hospital after allegedly being poisoned at Shake Shack. The NYPD quickly started to investigate and reportedly rifled through trash cans in the neighborhood looking for discarded containers of bleach. No such containers were found, and the police department cleared Shake Shack shortly thereafter. New York One later reported that cleaning solution had ended up in the officers' shakes as a result of Shake Shack's machinery not being properly wiped off before use, though no other customers have reported illness at this time. The burger chain shared that it was horrified by the news that officers said it worked in the NYPD, but that officers and said it worked with the NYPD as part of the investigation. I know Shake Shack has also at this point launched its own investigation in this matter, trying to figure out what exactly, if anything, actually happened here.
Yeah, spoiler alert, nothing happened here. Police are starting to lose this status in a society where it's like they're revered, and they're starting to become reviled because of how they've treated people. And so these little incidents, like this is directly connected to that female cop we covered in the top of the show.
Exactly. And she's
whining and crying and acting like she's so oppressed because she's a cop. This is cops going like, wait, there's not instant reverence for my uniform anymore, man. People are starting to call cops on their bullshit. We got to show them that we're constantly having to battle through adversity. Look, cop can't even go to a Shake Shack without getting bleach pouring down his throat. You know what I mean? This is just bullshit. Look, cops, I got a great idea. You want to be revered in society again. You want to be respected in society again. You want people to look at you and think, man, there's a person doing their best to keep their community safe. Start doing that.
It's simple.
Quit beating us up. Quit crushing people in the middle of the street. Quit showing up en masse with tanks and riot gear and gas grenades every time people assemble.
Yeah, I think we could end with that. Scotty, you have anything you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, just very succinctly that, you know, it's become clear that they're just trying to go for victimization status and saying, oh, there's some conspiracy. Like, maybe these cops got sick, maybe they didn't. I don't fucking know. But it sounds like they're right now saying it was some cleaning solution that was left on. So it sounds like anything, someone just fucked up their job. That's about it.
Absolutely. All right. So thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate you guys watching. See you next week with more horrible news. Goodbye.